All right, what is going on, everybody? Hello. Happy Wednesday. Let's get the TikTok stream up and running. We've got everybody else kicked off. What is going on? Hope you guys had a really good week so far. We're getting into springtime, getting near the summertime little by little. I know Minnesota, it's like 84 degrees today, so it's nice and steamy here. So hopefully it's good weather wherever you're at around the nation or around the world, wherever you may be. Hope you guys are enjoying these live streams. The twice a week live streams have honestly been going really well. I found a nice little divide between the two where Monday's a lot of like talking and education about a specific topic, and Wednesday is kind of a free-for-all like we've always have been. So I hope you guys enjoy that little mix-up. But we have a lot of people already hopping into the chat. Unheard and ZVL Mad Hatter hanging out over on Twitch. What is going on, guys? Remember, we are live on a billion different platforms. We are live on Twitch, on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Facebook as well. Let's go check out who's hanging out on YouTube. First person of the day is insert name, was the first tailgater of the day. Mike was coming in with some ribs and brisket ready for the tailgaters. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys were able to grab some before the stream started. Might be getting a little cold now. That was a couple of hours ago, but it heats up just fine. So it's going to be confusing for people who jump in and like, what the hell is he talking about? Why is he talking about tailgating and brisket? It's a good joke that has run for quite a while. Rich, what's going on? We have Jay Wilson, Sweet Baby Jazzy B, and Axiom Gang hanging out. Maniac Mechanic, Chloe, Simo, Bowling Bad, Brian, more Bowling Bad, more Brian, Billy, David, we have B Dean, Wood Bay, Bayou, Fef, what's going on? Fef and Freak Show. Hello. So, as per usual, the plan for today is a full-length Q&A. Any questions you guys have on the bowling world, I will answer to the best of my ability. Also, we are going to put a little bit of focus on summer bowling. We're nearing the end of league season. Some of you have already ended. Some of you are just about to end. I know I have 2 weeks left until my league is done. So we're going to talk about bowling in the summer. What does that look like, especially for anyone new? What are the leagues you can find? What are the things that people focus on? And really, what should you do this summer? Should you take a couple months off? Should you try to hone in some skills? What is the best thing to do? And I can try to help out there because I'm a guy who has bowled every single summer. I usually don't take a very long time off. So I want to give you guys a little bit of advice on what I've done in the past, what has worked, and also what has not worked. But let's get into the things. Who was our very first person over on TikTok? Was Nerdy. What's going on, Nerdy? You got a Widow Mania today. Nice. That's got to be the #1 or #2 best ASIM Pearl from Brunswick. So I was just getting all of our categorization guides ready. I'm going to have an all brand categorization guide coming out soon. Our last one was in late January. So that's why I put all the brands together, every bowling ball that's on the market, and I compare them all, put them in our 6 categorization scales. So I was looking at Brunswick, and like with the combat gone and with the theorem gone, there's not a lot of amazing shiny ASIMs that are not super strong. So like the full effect, super strong. The strategy, I was going to say transparency, the strategy, super strong. The Zero Mercy Pearl, super strong. But that middle category, it's really just Black Widow Mania now. That's really what's left. Because like when you get to the Outer Limits Black Hole, it gets kind of weak. Those are a little weaker of ASIM Pearls. Or ASIM shiny balls, I should say. Apologies. Not all of them are pearls. But yeah, it's interesting. So I think the Widow Mania is a great play. Bobby V, what's going on? Ralphie, hello. Steve, bowling needs to attract gamblers. Oh, don't worry. Bowling has attracted gamblers. But yeah, I think they could probably dive in a little more into that because if you go to Vegas, every bowling center you're at is a casino. And that's in a lot of other bowling centers across the nation too. So yeah, you definitely could. Andrew, what's going on? Trey, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the hello. But let us see. Let's go back to the top. See any questions that we missed. Jay Wilson, Detroit Tigers start at 6:40, Pistons at 7, Daughter Dan's Zoom meeting at 7, and ZVL at 7. You are a busy man, my dude. You are a busy guy. Chloe, anyone signing up for a summer league? Mine starts May 4th already. That is crazy. That's really cool. That is really cool that it's starting that quick. A lot of summer leagues here don't really start till like June almost, or middle of May. So yeah, it's interesting. Trey, are you giving advice out for Junior Gold? Yeah, I had a video go live yesterday about Junior Gold. On TikTok, I have a 3-minute video about arsenal building, and on YouTube, I have a 20-minute video diving deep into Junior Gold, and there's going to be a lot more Junior Gold coverage coming out well. Brock, I get to have fun at State this weekend. I can't wait for team. Hey, I'm going to be there too. It's going to be great. I don't know what team I'm on, but I know I bowl Saturday. Do you bowl with us? I don't know who I bowl with, man. I hope you were told. But yeah, I bowl our Minnesota State tournament this weekend. So team doubles and singles on Saturday and Sunday. Should be a good time. I drilled up a couple balls, not for State, but just because I finally got my hands on and drilled a Storm Bionic. And then I also drilled a Hammer Full Effect as well. That's going to be my attempt at something that's going to be better for urethane carry down, because I don't really have much there. And I put a weaker layout on it. You got told a time and a location. Well, that's what I've been told too, man. Yeah. That's about how it is. So I'm bowling with Brock this weekend over on TikTok chat. I'll be honest, I don't know who I'm bowling with. We're 2 days prior, and I know I'm bowling, and I know what times, and I don't know what my team is. So it'll be interesting. But I am bowling State, so I'm going to try the full effect out. I'm really excited for that one, honestly. It's a big, super strong, shiny ASIM, which I think will be really good for urethane carry down. And then the Bionic is... everybody who gets one loves it, is really what it is. I've heard very little negativity about the Bionic, so I'm curious to try one myself. Drilling it just like my phase 2, so it's going to be really interesting. I'll be keeping you guys updated with how that goes. Bayou, back from Reno just in time for a Wednesday stream. Oh, you were at Reno. How'd it go, man? How was the Nationals? How was Nationals going? Jaybird, what's up? Mike got a Venom Hysteria to just in for Summer League, and your wife won a Combat Hybrid. That's not bad. That's not bad. Venom Hysteria is looking sick right now. I mean, I know Motive had their post of like Matt Russo texting someone saying this is the best Motive ball ever. But overall, even like the unbiased sources are really liking the Venom Hysteria. So it seems like they have a good Pearl Venom again. The Hyper was good, but hopefully this Venom Hysteria is just that little bit better. It's very smooth. It's a very smooth Pearl ball, but that can be really usable for a lot of guys who want to play a little straighter. So if you like your Venom Shock, it seems like a ball that you're going to like as well. Insert name. Any drills to delay the yo-yo release on one hand? I tend to uncup before it gets past my ankle. Ooh, that's a good question. That is a really good question. Drills wise, not really. You could try some one-step drills if you want. I'm not a big one-step drill guy, but that can be a way that you can try to get that timing down. Otherwise, try to make your timing super, super late on it. Try to think that you're uncupping, try to like uncup after you pass your ankle, because your body will compensate and hit a middle ground. So whenever you have a habit, say you have really early timing, really late timing, whatever it may be, if you try to over-exaggerate it, when you watch a video of it, you're actually not that exaggerated, and your body is just finding a middle ground between what your habit is and what you think you're over exaggerating. So a good tip whenever you're practicing is it's going to feel uncomfy, and that is a good thing. Your body is finding a middle ground that's going to be able to help out. You want to be able to over exaggerate a lot of the things you're trying to fix. Like if you're trying to open your shoulders more, we had a video go out on that last week, then you want to make it feel like your body is like perpendicular to the lane. Your body's not going to be that way when you watch a video of it, but it is going to help you actually open up a little bit, which is going to be good. Let's see. Wood Bay. I'm starting my first league in June 1st. I come over from competitive golf, so I'm not too intimidating. Should be fun. Yeah, don't expect anything too like crazy competitive by any means. Most leagues around the nation are very laid back. There isn't much money in them, which is a-okay, but yeah, it's not, you know, trash talky, getting in your face, stuff like that. But you might see some good bowlers, which is awesome. But your first league, good luck, man. That's awesome. Love that you're getting into bowling leagues. It's a good combo, having some golf leagues and having some bowling leagues. It's a very good play. Very good play. Joe, I got the Black Widow Toxin Pearl. Want it to be ultra skid flippy. You're not going to find that with that ball. Sorry, man. That the overseas stuff, especially all those overseas widows, are very smooth, very slow. So it's not going to be like a Mania. If you do want skid flip, 70 by 5 by 30 is the stereotypical skid flip layout for an ASIM, but it's going to be smoother than a lot of other balls. Just tendencies of the bowling ball, really. That Toxin series, I'm a little surprised it sold so well. It's overseas, but it wasn't very good. The original one, like a Black Widow Dynasty is eons better. A Black Widow Mania is better. So yeah, I'm a little surprised, but hey, I hope it works well for you. I hope it looks good. Let's see. Xander, I got an RST Hyperdrive, Origin, and an Amp. Nice. That's a good combo. I think a weaker solid ball could be pretty good. You know, IQ2 or Monsoon. Cove could be pretty decent. It's a hybrid, but in that same vein. So a lot of that stuff could be pretty decent as well. Oh, God. Who was that? Was that Ken saying IQ70 is the GOAT? Oh, boy. That ain't it, Chief. People don't like it when I say the IQ78 is objectively a bad bowling ball. Like, people are not fans of that. Usually I get hit with the, well, it's thrown on TV a bunch. Why is that? The pros have no other choice. The pros literally cannot throw any other urethane ball. That's the only option. Nathan Eaton over on TikTok. Thanks for the follow, man. Hayden, thank you for the follow as well. Great Mason, is the Evoke Hysteria a good ball down from the Vengeance? Yeah, honestly, it's actually not bad. It's going to be a very smooth ball down because switching from a Storm ball to a Motive ball generally is going to be a little smoother, and that Hysteria isn't the most skid flippy ball in the world, so you should be able to honestly stay in the same part of the lane with the Hysteria. It's just going to hook a little bit later and probably have a similar-ish ball reaction down lane, so that might not be that bad, man. It might not be that bad. Jeff Katova, how close are the Bionic and Alert? Alert is going to be a bit weaker. Alert is going to be a little weaker and a little bit sharper as well. They honestly make a pretty good combo, in my opinion, because the Bionic is stronger core and stronger cover, where the Alert is going to be that weaker core, weaker cover that's a little bit quicker down lane. Even though it's a solid ball, it still is quicker, just overall tendencies of it. So I think they can make a good 1-2 and not really fight each other for the same part of the bag. Ed, evening, Zach. Sport Challenge League starts bowl weeks that you want. Statue of Liberty is week number 1. There you go. Not bad, not bad. So that's kind of the big thing with summer bowling is you're going to see a lot of sport shot leagues. So in the main season of bowling, which is basically fall to spring, you're going to see the house shot leagues, the typical 5-person, 4-person leagues. Summer is when bowling alleys get to have some fun. That's really where they try new things, unique things, different things. That's where you see a lot of sport shot leagues. You see a lot of doubles leagues, trios leagues. I've seen a lot of singles leagues even. There's a lot of different things. That's where bowling alleys really get creative, which is fun. So if you're sick of like the regular 5-person leagues, 4-person leagues where it's just house shot, go check some of the bowling alleys in your area. There might be some cool sport shot leagues, maybe some sweepers. I know here in Minnesota, there's usually about 4-ish sweepers going on in the summer at all times. We have all of them are basically sport shot sweepers. Just show up when you want. It's like $20 a night and you can win, you know, usually like $60 to $100 depending on the entries. So you can win some money actually on some mini tournaments, but it's a good practice session. I know for me personally, there's a really cool one that happens here in the Twin Cities area. It was a sweeper, I believe at the time. Now it's Friday nights. I don't remember when it was then, maybe Wednesdays or something. But either way, it was a really cool series where every week there'd be a new oil pattern. Some would be easier, some would be a lot harder. And then it would just be 3 games, cut to the top 8, single elimination bracket format, head-to-head matches. Very easy, very simple. You win $100 no matter what, depending on no matter the number of entries. And they were getting like 20 to 40 entries per night. So it's a really cool way like, oh, this week is a short pattern. I can actually practice my urethane. Or, hey, it's a long pattern week. I got to get out that stronger bowling ball and see if I can play some different angles with it. Really, really cool. I highly, highly recommend checking those out in the summer. This is a time to really start honing in your skills because none of these sport shot leagues, usually they are not certified leagues, so the averages don't actually save anywhere. So low-key, it doesn't matter how you do because a sport shot league, you know, you're going to see averages just drop across the board no matter what, almost all the time. So it's a good time to be able to practice things, try new bowling balls, try new surfaces, try to fix parts of your game that you're not a fan of. Like me personally, this is usually the time where there's like no tournaments. Right when Nationals is done is usually the final tournament that I bowl in like a regular season. And then it's all the sweepers and the little things. So that's really when I try to hone in my physical game and try to make big changes. Like this will be times where I like try to fix footwork. I try to get my hand position in a better spot. Just because you have more time in between, like you can have a lot of practice sessions in a row without big events or leagues getting in the way and putting you back to your old habitual tendencies. So if you're a fan of that, I highly, highly recommend now being the time that you really step in and try to grind out those physical game changes that you can make. This is a really good time to do that. Let's see, Dan over on Facebook. Hello from the Detroit area. What is going on, man? Insert name. How do I explain to my wife that bowling balls die and that I'm just making stuff up to justify buying another ball? kind of hard because it's not really visible. It's not really visible to see when a ball dies a lot of the time, but you can say it's like a God, I don't know what it would be like. Like it's kind of like a car. You can it's kind of like a car to a certain degree where you can kind of like start seeing it start getting bad and getting old and just not being able to fix it, but you just can't make repairs on it. That's not a very good analogy. I like to use shoes for it, but you can physically see when shoes are wearing down. So that's a hard one to explain, man. That's a really hard one to explain. Captain Ludwig, what's your advice to start a YouTube bowling channel? Ooh, good question. I did get another question on this earlier and a couple days ago, and I want to make a series on it. I have a separate TikTok account, ZVL Reviews, where I go through some of like the behind the scenes stuff of running a channel full time. And I get into a little more of this then. But number one is make sure you have a lot, like 5 to 10 videos ready before you start the channel, because YouTube is all about consistency. The channels that stop posting for a while, YouTube kind of kills them off to a certain degree. So if you're posting, make sure it's like, once a week. It doesn't have to be a lot, but like one video a week. And if you can have a backlog of them ready before you kick off the channel is very, very important. Also, finding your niche is very good as well. Rev Dude, I got a Zero Mercy. Would a special effect be a ball down? Absolutely. Jaybird, what replaces the stealth hybrid or sublime hybrid in the bag? I don't think a Double Trouble or a kinetic are going to replace it. I think a stealth mode stealth mode hybrid is the best replacement. That sublime was really strong, so you need something with a stronger core and cover. The Double Trouble is a little weaker, and then the kinetic is very, very weak compared to it. Don, 3 more weeks of Winter League, then a summer of tournaments. There you go. Love it. Cody Lofton, what would be a good ball for fresh or heavy oil as a two-hander? I gotta get rid of a Twitch account quick, sorry. We love the spam accounts. There we go, it's gone. I think for a two-hander, if you're a little more on the rev dominant side, I would recommend like Equinox Solid, Raptor Rain, or Radical Evil Eye, a step down from those strongest balls. If you're more on the balance or speed dominant side, that's where the Ion Max Zero Mercy Solid come into play. Let's see. Mike Flip just got the Toxin Pearl, drilled it go long, and it's amazing. There you go. Lenzy doing a weekly Sports Shot Sweeper. How would this arsenal be? Hyperdrive, Hysteria, Phase 2 Pearl, Venom Shock mix. I like it. It's a good start. Good start. Bayou. It was tough but fun. I like the team pattern more. Our team is currently 175th-ish in standard. I shot 1559. There you go. There you go. Yeah, glad you like the team pattern. Team pattern last year in 2025 in Baton Rouge was rough. Super, super rough for absolutely everybody. 100% of the people. So good to see that's a little easier, and you can kind of see that with scores as well. They're a little bit higher. Pharaoh, seems like every week we're seeing multiple big games or series at Reno. Any thoughts? Well, there's thousands of people that bowl it all the time, so you're bound to see it. But the scores are higher, but they're not insanely high. No, it is not a house shot. You're not going to see people averaging 290 out there or anything insane. Scores are higher than they were last year, but that's A-okay. Every year at Nationals is a little bit different. This year is a little bit easier than last year on the team side. Doubles and singles seems pretty similar. I know we had 2 guys break the record, which was insane, by the way. Both throwing Brunswick alerts looked really, really cool. But don't think that like it's too easy out there right now, because scores are still not that high. You have phenomenal bowlers out there shooting, 1,900 all events. They're not getting out there and shooting 2,400 all events. We're not breaking every record under the sun or anything. So it still isn't easy, but it's easier than last year. A little bit easier than past years. Let's see. Brooke, tips on sliding. 2.5 months in, and I'm not 100% confident, and don't slide far. I need more power. So yeah, footwork is the toughest thing to try to fix in bowling. Sliding is going to be a lot of like just practice getting that toe into the ground. You're going to want that toe going first. I know a lot of people who don't slide. They start with their heel when they take that last step and then go down to their toe. You want that toe to be the thing that's pushing first. So you almost want to you could fake your approach when you're standing on an approach and just start toe only and see if you can try to slide that way. That's usually my favorite way to recommend it to people. Let's see. Brooke, your squad 26 for junior gold. Cedarvale and Eden Prairie Bolero. Sadly, have a 10 p.m. practice. Ooh, that's not fun. That's not a fun practice time. Luckily, there's a lot of places around the area that have food a little bit later, so you should be good there. But that's not a fun practice time. Texas Outlaw, do a Zero Mercy Pearl and a Solid fit as a good combo? If you're a little more speed dominant, absolutely can be. Jerry Mars, what's going on? 135 signed up for my King of the Hill. Jerry, I was talking to Natalie. She is a triple shift employee, and she was saying that your King of the Hills are insane, and she name dropped you. So that is absurd. That's awesome. I love seeing that. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, go check out Jerry Mars's King of the Hill tournaments. They're nuts. They are absolutely insane. There's a lot of money if you want money to be thrown around. If you want it to be practiced, they're also pretty cheap. So it's a win-win, best of both worlds situation. And it's a really cool group of people. It's like a hangout session the way it sounds for some. Like you get to see your friends for the week, kind of like a week of League to a certain degree, just on harder patterns and with better competition. So highly recommend it if you're in the Chicagoland area. Zach's dislike for the IQ 78 is legendary. The thing is, like, I always want to preface, like, the opinions that I give on this channel are not just like me in a room one day, like plotting things. Like these are opinions that are coming from many others in the space, and I just echo them a lot of the time. Or like I'm here to be a collection of all of the stuff going on in the bowling world in a lot of ways. Like when I'm telling you guys a bowling ball is good, it's not just that I really like it. It's that a lot of people really like it. So there's a lot of balls I really like that I don't think are great bowling balls for a lot of people. Like the Ebonite Spartan, I love that ball. I think it's really good for me. I don't think it's really good for a lot of you out there. I don't think it's like objectively a great bowling ball. It's fine. So a lot of those things I'm just kind of echoing in a lot of ways and like bringing the info together. And that is IQ 78 is just, it's not great. Like if you have a choice, the Black Hammer is way better. Crown 78 better, Purple Hammer 78 better. Brunswick just has urethanes on lockdown. They have for 10 years. Well, Hammer and then sold to Brunswick. So they've had that for a while. The IQ 78 just isn't, a lot of people, most high level guys just really, if they had the choice, would go Black Hammer. Just how it is. Crown 78 is wonderful for picking up 10 pins. There you go. D-Settle, my daughter Izzy has been watching you for a long time. She wanted to say hi. Hey, Izzy, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching. Both of you. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. That means a ton. RJ tournaments this week, 2023 USBC Masters. Is my hater still good? I can't decide to either bring real time or Scorpion Strike. I would go real time, and then, yeah, I think hater can still be a good play with that. John Monroe, love the Junior Gold content. Thank you, man. My son is a low rev player and can't make urethane work. Thoughts on this arsenal? Zero Mercy, Solid, Bionic, Super Sport, and X Factor Spare. I like it. I like that a lot. And that's a big thing that I talked about in my YouTube video a little bit, but I want to always double back on it is you shouldn't try to make urethane work if it doesn't work, because like speed dominant guys or low rev guys, urethane is just not a good play most of the time because it doesn't carry. It doesn't create the entry angle that the high rev guys can make with it. So then urethane just isn't a good option, where things like a Zero Mercy Solid, things like an Evil Eye, things like a Phase 2 of Vengeance, an Equinox Solid, a lot of those smoother, stronger pieces are going to be better for those speed dominant guys because they flare more. Those guys need a little bit more flare to get the ball to pick up, which is a-okay. That's not a problem. So yeah, I don't think urethane is for everybody on the market. It's just not. It's not good for a lot of people under that 350 rev rate. Is really like there's better options out there a lot of the time. Like you're going to hit the pocket a lot, but you're not going to carry a whole lot of 10 pins, 7 pins. You might leave some 5-7s. You're going to leave some flat hits, 8-10s. So if that's the case, you kind of just want to go with something else. Jess, what's going on? I'm from Tennessee. What's your opinion on the new Belmo ball? Yeah, the Storm Rocket AI is coming out next week along with the Storm Monsoon. We've seen a lot more about the Rocket, and I've seen it in person a couple times now, and it really looks like a ball that is very skid snappy right now. It's one of Storm's most skid snappy bowling balls. Kind of pairs alongside like where a Next Factor fits, just a symmetrical option. So the cover of it is that same cover as the Equinox and the High Road 40. You don't really see many similarities there because the core is basically in between the two. Like you have Equinox as the strongest of the strong core on that side. You have the Rocket in the middle, and you have the High Road underneath. The Rocket very much fits in the medium sharp category on the lower side of it. Kind of where Next Factor fits, but a little quicker than most things. So I think it looks really good right now, but it is very skid snappy. So if you don't like angular bowling balls, stay away. David, when your computer gets slower, your phone doesn't keep a charge. There you go. That's a good one. Yes, it's like when your phone doesn't keep a charge. I love that so much. That is a fantastic way to put it. Thoughts on a rev dominant bowler going to 13 pounds? Depends if you're going up or down, TJ. Are you going up to 13 or down to 13? Captain Ludwig, I was thinking do what the Gutter Boys did, where they did a series of shooting 250 with each ball in their arsenal. That's a cool idea. No, I like those. I think that's something that's very not done very much. Is the, like, I see it in golf all the time. I'm not a big golfer, but I'm in golf TikTok a lot, where the guy I'm watching right now, love the dude. He's trying to do a par 5 1,000 yard challenge, where it's a 1,000-yard hole. It's kind of like over top a couple of holes, but it's a 1,000-yard hole, and it's a par 5, and he's trying to hit par. He's on like day 30 something. So those are really cool series to do. I've had a couple of ideas for those in the past, and I might try to do as well, but I highly recommend something like that. Donnie, what do you think about the 3D Assault offset? Yeah, the 3D Assault or offset Assault was an okay ball. It got discontinued super quick. It wasn't as well loved as Hammer was thinking it would be, and honestly, that I thought it would be. But it's strong and slow. It's not as strong as a Zero. It's stronger than a Black Widow. Super slow down lane. It's okay. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. Consistency is good. How many videos can I post in a given week before my success gets labeled the ZVL effect? Hey, that was kind of my goal, is like, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta post daily on all the short forms, and I gotta post 3 times a week on YouTube. And then once I realize, hey, I have some extra time, I could bump those numbers up. Then I bump the numbers up, because my head now, I thought I'd run out of content to think about, has not. Still have a list of ideas ready to go. I'm getting ready a rev dominant, speed dominant, balanced arsenal video guide for the next couple of weeks. So yeah, if you have the time, it depends how much time you want to put towards content. But whatever it is, if it's 1 video a week, 2 videos a week, 20 videos a week, just make sure it's consistent is the big one. Revs dude, thoughts on doing a pin down layout for a Zero Mercy solid? So you are low speed, low rev, or low speed, low rev, balance, low speed, or low rev. Okay. I wouldn't. If you're more, because if you're low speed, low rev, you're going to probably lean more in the balance or the speed dominant side. I don't like pin down for that, because it kills the flare and makes the ball a lot smoother. Usually if you're low rev, you want the ball to be a little quicker down lane to be able to get some entry angle. So I would go basic pin up. Bayou, excited to hear about your experience with the full effect. I'm very torn on getting that versus a strategy. I know, that's kind of where I was at. I was looking at Charles from The Hype had a really good video comparing the two, and the full effect is just a little sooner, and it seems like a little quicker as well, and that's kind of what I'm going for. So I'm really excited to try it a little bit more. I'm excited to try it, and then I'll let you guys know how it goes. Hopefully, I'll be trying it in League for the first time tomorrow. I just drilled him up today, and I didn't actually bring shoes or anything to bowl with. I did. I could have. I had some wedding stuff I had to take care of. We had to do table assignments today. That was fun. Big old puzzle. But no, I will be throwing them tomorrow at League for the first time. So I'm very excited to see what they do. Matt DeShazo, what's going on Facebook? Quick reminder that I forgot to mention it earlier. We are live on 4 different platforms right now. We're live on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. So if I haven't gotten to your comment yet, apologies. I'm about 5 minutes behind on 3 of the 4 platforms on everything but TikTok. On TikTok, I'm a couple minutes behind as well. So make sure if I miss your comment, don't feel like I'm skipping over it. If I do actually get past your comment and I don't read it, just make sure to put it in again to make sure. I'm not trying to skip any comments. I read every comment, and any comment that you guys have that doesn't break terms of service or isn't anything like too much swearing. So don't worry about that. These live streams are for you guys to answer as many questions as we can. So let's keep on trucking. We have Deal With It on TikTok. You have an exotic gem and a bionic. You need something weaker. Yeah, honestly, Hustle Glow, Rocket AI. I would even go Typhoon. I think a Typhoon would be a little better bet for you. Let's see. Somebody without a username shot 300 for the first time. Congratulations. That is awesome. First 300 is something that you never forget. So that is really, really cool to hear. That is awesome. Jerry Cortez. Tons of brackets. Tell me if I said that right. Or is it Cortese? Cortesa. Cortesa or Cortez? I don't know. Jerry, tons of brackets, new double spot this year. There you go. Appreciate the shout out. Absolutely. Yeah. When you're running cool tournaments like that, you deserve as much advertising as you can possibly get. So that's awesome. I'm really happy for you that you're able to have something like that running so well. Let's see. Wood Bay for the guy looking for the dead ball analogy. Yeah, computer's got to be the best one. Xander Crush, should I pick up a purple hammer? My biggest recommendation, if you're thinking about urethane or not, is number one, do you bowl on sport shots? If you don't bowl on sport shots, you don't need a urethane. If you do bowl on sport shots, then I recommend some kind of urethane if you're bowling in a lot of sport shots. Now, urethane rules, still a little scary. We should get an announcement from USBC what's happening in the future sooner rather than later. I assume these rules aren't going to be permanent. But I have no idea. I mean, I haven't even heard any rumors about what urethane rules would possibly be coming out. I assume that they're waiting until Junior Gold is over to make some kind of announcement. So maybe we'll get something new, but either way, purple hammer is always going to be a great bet if you're on sport shots. If you're on house shots, there are much better options for you. Yes, you're going to hit the pocket a lot with urethane on a house shot, but you're not going to carry all that much. Trust me, your average will be higher with another bowling ball. Hey, ZVL, it's a Zach friend. What's going on? Let's see. Ronald Flegel, thank you for your bowling input. I think your ball knowledge is great. Thank you, Ronald. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you, thank you. Gutterball Gladiator, trying to work out a new 14-pound arsenal for your son who's a two-handed lefty. Venom Shock, Venom Mysteria, and Max Thrill Hybrid. 9 years old. Ooh. Throwing 14 pounds and 13.5 miles an hour at 9 years old is amazing. Wow. That kid can chuck a ball. Good for him. That's awesome. Big fan of the Outer Limits Black Hole right now. Ball of the year. Yeah, it's not popular enough for that, but it has done well. It's probably a top 5 Brunswick ball on PBA Tour right now. It's always hard. Like, ball of the year is tough because it's also a popularity contest in some ways. And anything with a Radical logo on it just is never the most popular ball in the world. I mean, like the Evil Eye, for example, is already on sale. I thought that was the most popular ball that Radical came out with in a few years, and it's already on sale at bowling.com. Big partner of the channel. Go check them out. I pointed at it when bowling.com isn't there, but also RecruitUS is now there. No, but yeah, it is. Yeah, it looks like a great ball. Looks like a really good ball, which is awesome. Suitor, did I get here in time for the Torpedo Direct Hit 2 announcement? The sequel is coming soon. Look out, world. Yes. Mike, could you explain what shim means? Absolutely. So, what is shim? When somebody mentions shim, really what shim is just hold in the middle of the lane. So when you're bowling, say you miss a shot in and your ball doesn't overhook and it still hits the pocket and strikes, we call that shim area. That's just miss room that you have as a righty to the left, as a lefty to the right. Just miss room you have in the middle part of the lane where you can still get it there. You can still miss inside and the ball will still hold line and strike. We call that shim. That's the best way to put it. TLDR. Is that a Michael Upton sighting? The famous Michael Upton. What is going on? Do you think the concept is the modern day arson low flare solid? No, there is nothing like your magical arson low flare. Nothing in the world is like that. But the concept is going to be a lot earlier and can be used as like an earlier, slower option off of it because the cover is so strong. Absolutely. Robert Bukowski, what current storm balls are close to the Code X? Oh yeah, absolutely. Code X would pretty much be like an Equinox Solid. Equinox Solid is pretty close to that ball. And the Absolute Power. So the closest thing to an Absolute Power was the Origin EX, but that ball is gone now. So honestly, a Transformer is going to be pretty close. It's going to be a little quicker down lane, but it's going to be Transformer and Equinox Solid are the two. Jason Fox, my Origin is dying. I'm looking at Hammer Ball to replace it. Yeah, the Dynasty will be a little earlier and honestly a little sharper down lane. But it can be, it's in the same area. Mr. Gray, what's going on TikTok? How you doing? Let's see. What do you think is the overall best ball so far? In 2026, what would be the best ball? I think the Bionic has to win it right now. It's won the most PBA titles. It's has so many sales that it's on back order, and it is a ball that most people just generally really, really like. So I think Bionic right now would be winning ball of the year. And of course, there's a lot of subjectivity with ball of the year because it's not like it's not a math test or anything where you have a set winner, but that ball is looking incredible right now. So I think that ball's got to be close to the top right now. Brooke, I've always had trouble with knowing what ball to go to next. I start with strong, smooth, then I guess. Also had a meeting with my top choice and it went really well. That is awesome to hear. That is amazing to hear. Yeah, when for where you go to next, so it always depends on the pattern and transition and who's bowling. So usually like house shots are tough because you'll start in like medium smooth or strong sharp, and then you generally ball up because the lanes get cliffed. A lot of oil in the middle of the lane, not much on the outside. So when that happens, you have to switch to a stronger and smoother ball. But in sport shots, it's usually, strong, smooth first. And then for me, I usually try to stay on the solid side of things for a little bit, and then I jump over to the sharp side of things. Because generally on a sport shot, you're kind of staying a little straighter to start and then slowly opening your angles. And that's where I like those solid bowling balls or those smooth bowling balls just a little bit better than the quick ones. So that's what I personally do most of the time. Ludwig, don't you hate it when you get hit by a parked car? Hate when that happens, man. Hate when that happens. That's awesome. Pajama Pally, it's a lot more angular than I thought, talking about the Bionic, throwing a 6 boards left from the Ion Max. Yeah, it's that ball, it's kind of like a voodoo ball in a lot of ways, the way it sounds. So that's why I'm so curious to try it, is a lot of people will talk about it like it's just different, is what I hear a lot. It's just a very unique ball because it's that really strong hybrid cover. The core is very middle of the road. Now, it's like a phase 2 core, basically like an old phase 2 core. But yeah, it's still quick somehow, but it's not too quick. Like when they tried this with a phase, when they tried putting like a stronger cover stock on it with the phase 3, it was terrible. But this seems like a modern day phase 3, which is weird, a weird comparison. So I'm excited to see what it is myself. But yeah, I've heard a lot of unique things about that ball. That's the big one. Willis, what about the Gremlin at Nationals? I have not seen much angular stuff or shiny stuff be used that much at Nationals. So team event, I think there's a point where that can happen when the lanes get easy enough in game 3. Doubles and singles, most people never got left to 15. Like never got deeper on the lane than 15 at the arrows, which is crazy. It sounds like there's just a flood. You need a lot of surface on it and to play straighter angles. So really those weaker bowling balls don't get used all that much unless you break the lanes down a lot deeper. Like if you start the day playing like 15 to 7, then you probably will need something like a Gremlin. But if you start playing, I don't want to say correctly, but how people are scoring them right now, playing straighter, you probably won't be using a Gremlin that much. If you are, it's going to be like game 6 or game 3 of singles otherwise. Denise, what do you think of the Motive Venom Hysteria? Venom Hysteria is awesome. A lot of people are really liking it right now. It is a smoother pearl ball with that Venom core. So if you like the Venom Shock, you'll probably like the Hysteria. All right, we have fan of all cars. Should I get a 78D black or a purple 78? I'm going to junior gold and I have the previous purple pin urethane and you have a concept. So when people ask me if I should get the black hammer or the purple hammer 78, I always go the black hammer. It has more success right now and it is a less of a chance of failure or less of a chance of it being a dud for you. So the purple hammer flares, the purple hammer 78D, it flares, and that's not always the greatest for urethane. So if there's a lot of oil on the lane, it looks pretty okay. Like I saw Zach Wilkins throwing it today. Jason Sterner shot 300 with it at the Tournament of Champions. But the black hammers are going to be better from a little bit straighter. So if you want to play deeper with a urethane, which generally isn't the best play for a lot of play styles, then a purple hammer 78 could be fine. But if you want that true urethane feel, black hammer is the best option. That's always going to be the best option then. It's always a tough one. That one's always tough. Let's see. Pickles over here. How do I get into colleges for bowling and get more exposure? Ooh, I have a really good answer for that. RecruitUS. RecruitUS is a full company where their job is that. Their goal is to get people recruited for college. And they host clinics, they host events, they host Zoom calls, they have connections to virtually every single college coach in America, and they have ways. So go check out RecruitUS. They are also a partner of the channel, like completely. I mean, like, I'm not getting paid to say this, just for the record. They are partnered with the channel. I want to bring them more exposure, more visibility. So go check out RecruitUS. Fantastic people. Go check out the bowling section. It'll show a bunch of their events that are going on or other ways to get in connection with people. They have connections, like I said, to basically every college coach. They're running an event for Junior Gold, and they're running some seminars and things. You're going to see them a lot. They have some really cool things. So go check them out if you're somebody who doesn't really know where to start with your journey to get recruited to a college. All right, let's see. Xander starting a Sports Shot League on Tuesday. Awesome. No, yeah, I would start it first before getting the urethane, because urethane might not work for you, and depending on what patterns they put out. Mean Boy, I have a Reality and a Mesmerize. How much stronger is the Mesmerize? It's a couple boards stronger. Nothing too crazy, though. Nothing too out of the blue. MG, as a two-hander that's looking to transition back to one-handed, what should I be looking for when starting a new arsenal? Yeah, I would recommend just one bowling ball. So if you're changing styles or you're just getting into bowling, the best thing to do is start with one ball. Don't get a full arsenal if you are switching from one-handed to two-handed, because a lot of people switch back. I've had a lot of youth come in who to our pro shop will be like, I'm going to switch over to two-handed. It's like, cool, here's a ball, try it out. They try for a couple weeks. They're like, I can't do this. I'm going back to one-handed, or vice versa. So if you are somebody that is switching, or you're just getting into bowling and you're checking on this for the first time, really just checking out some bowling stuff, one bowling ball is going to be the best start. Then you can figure out your stats, your ball roll, all that stuff. And then you can build an arsenal based on that. Hey, so bored. What's going on? Almost at 30K. We are 29,283 right now. We are cruising right now. So huge thank you to everybody that's followed so far, helping us almost get to 30K. We're almost there, which is awesome. Any help there would be appreciated. We might have to do a giveaway for that, for 30K. We'll see. Stuke. Favorite roto grip ball currently or all time? Ooh, I think it is just both, is the Rockstar Amped. Rockstar Amped is my favorite ball in the bag right now. Just without a doubt, that ball. I threw it again. I haven't thrown it for a couple of weeks. I've been switching between that and the Phase 2 Pearl. Phase 2 Pearl has been disappointing me lately. It just goes a little too forward. Then I switch over to the Amped, and I've been trying that. And I threw it at practice the other day, and my other stuff was looking fine, not great. And I threw the Amped. It's like, oh my God, I missed this thing. And it is the greatest ball I have in my bag. That ball is... I'm still so mad at Storm for releasing the Phase 2 Pearl so closely around the Amped, because I think the Amped, with enough like marketing time and enough limelight, could have been one of the best balls in the market, just without a doubt. But because it didn't get that love, most people didn't throw it. So it's just going to be seen as another cool symmetrical pearl that Zach yells into the void about, saying it's the best thing ever, which is so sad. My love for that ball is crazy. It's scary how my love for the ball is so strong for that thing. It's crazy. Let's see. Kant over on Twitch. What do you think is good replacement for the conspiracy scheme? Shot your first 300, 800 with it. There you go. I'm considering a stealth mode, bionic, or Phase 2. I would go stealth mode. I think stealth mode is going to be a best play. Tanya, just ordered an alert to add my Phase 2 in effect. What stronger ball could I add? I'm a balanced bowler. I would stick to the Brunswick brands. The Radical Evil. Do you have a Phase 2? I wouldn't go with that. I would go, let me look at the Brunswick lineup right now. Attract Synthesis might not be that bad. That ball's pretty good. Black Widow Dynasty could be really good. Honestly, I would go Black Widow 3.0 Dynasty. I think the Black Widow Dynasty is going to be your best bet. Ken, if I unfollow and refollow, does that help? No, it does not. It does not help at all. Why does your ball double bounce, ADZ? A tale as old as time. So the bowling alley I'm at, Spare Time Entertainment in Owatonna, Minnesota, the lane panels were installed slightly differently than other places. So on some of the pairs, the ball has a little double bounce that happens, and it's not every pair. And it only happens if you're not not only, but it happens if you're not perfectly dropping it on the line, like laying it down super, super softly. I'm 6'5". I'm never going to lay it down that softly. So when we have those pairs where the ball bounces, it happens. There's just very little you can do about it. It adds inconsistency to the bowling center, which is tough at times, but it makes it an entertaining challenge nonetheless. So that is why my ball bounces all the time. If you watch videos of me in other bowling centers, it doesn't happen. But yeah, that is Facebook's favorite comment to make at me is you suck because your ball double bounces. Facebook is it's an incredible place where there's so many wild comments. If you guys ever want to like just see what kind of crazy comments are out there in the bowling world, just go scroll through some of my Facebook posts. You see some wild ones, absolutely wild ones. The fun one I've had recently, which I was trying to prove wrong, which I'm getting screenshots for, I'm probably going to make a video on, not to prove them wrong, but to make an education point, is I posted a video of me at a tournament a couple weeks ago where I needed to double in the 10th to win. I struck on the first ball and I left a swisher 7 on the second one. And people were like, you threw it 3 boards off. You drifted 5 more boards. Why would you think that struck? So I got screenshots of both shots and like where my drift was, where I ended on the lane, where I threw it at the arrows, and they're identical. They are literally the same exact spot. So I'll make a video of like, you can throw it the same, like in the same spot in the lane, but your ball might do different things, and here's why. But yeah, you'll see some crazy comments out there. Absolutely crazy things. Let's see. Brooke, usually I try to go strong, sharp, and skip medium smooth, so it doesn't go well. Yeah, I would recommend trying to go down to medium smooth after strong and smooth if that's where you start. Try to stay on the smooth side and then jump over to the shiny side and the sharp side. That's usually a little bit safer. Fan of all cars, for a junior gold bowler as a two-hander, should I bring a special effect or entity solid? Definitely entity solid. Entity solid will be a little better for you. Owen, got my bowling club with my university officially approved today. Hey, congratulations, man. That is awesome. Congrats on that. Excited to see what that means for 2026 and 7 for you guys. That's awesome. Getting to some tournaments. That's a great thing. That is fantastic. Love it. And you're over on TikTok doing a sport shot league with 2 collegiate bowlers, hopefully going to pick up a bunch of knowledge. That's honestly a great way to do it. Bowling with people who are who are very talented is a great way to get better at bowling. Like if you bowl with people who are better than you, my head I always go to is like, if I'm the worst person on the team, that is incredible because I can learn so much so quickly is the best thing. Ian, what's going on? You ready for nationals? Absolutely. I haven't thought about it for a second. No, I'm planning on next week being my nationals prep week, where I come up with an arsenal and I kind of make surfaces ready and all that jazz. I honestly have not thought about it much with the channel doing all that stuff and a few other things going on. I haven't put a whole lot of thought to it. I've been watching a lot of clips and everything, talking to a lot of people, but no, it should be fun. I'm excited. I enjoy Reno. I'm one of the guys who likes Reno a lot. I've only been there once, which is why, but excited to go back and see what we can all do there. Should be very fun. Very fun. Let's keep on going. We're only at 50-minute point, but remember, make sure to drop a follow or a subscription if you haven't. Best way to help support the channel. Best way to make sure you're notified on any videos that go live so we stay in your For You page, stay in your recommended videos, any of those places. Because sometimes the algorithms get a little bit weird. So to make sure that you're still seeing the couple of videos a day that we post on all the platforms, make sure to subscribe or follow. Best way to help support. And, it helps a full-time content creator out. Now any of the I don't have a salary, it's just coming from all this stuff. So any follows and subscriptions is the best way to help support. And it's free for you guys. Win-win. Win-win-win. Let's see. Joe, Lane Tracks is a great tool for mapping out ball motion if you're having a difficulty defining a ball or placing it in an arsenal. Absolutely, 100%. One thing that Lane Tracks does really well too that I always want to preface with you guys is something that a lot of bowlers don't do is a tripod is going to be one of the best investments you can make. Tripods are like $10, so it's not a crazy investment. But in my opinion, getting videos of yourself when you bowl is the greatest thing you can do because you can see your ball motion. You can see your form. You can see anything different that's going on, which is really good because what your body feels and what your eyes see at the line is generally not exactly what's happening. There's always differences because our eyes as humans, we only pick up the ball once it gets to like 20 feet down lane. but there's another 20 feet there that we're not seeing. So getting videos of yourself, even if you're not fixing your physical game form, like if you're just watching ball motion, it's a very good thing to have because then you can save them. You can go back a day later and watch them and see, huh, you know, that ball is hooking way later than my other ball when I didn't think it would be. That's interesting. Or that ball is way smoother than I thought it would be. That's usually how I learn a little more about my own bowling balls is I'll throw them, I'll see what I think of them, get videos, all that, and I'll watch them for a couple of days, more like in my off time, and just see like, huh, that ball is doing different things than what I expected. And then you can kind of make assumptions there and have ideas of what balls fit where. So that was a good way for me to learn that some of my equipment was hooking a lot earlier than I expected, and made me just change the surface on them quite a bit. All right, let us keep on trucking. Noah, did you like your Crown? Did you like Crown Victory Pearl more than the OG? I haven't thrown either. I like the OG better. It's a little more usable. The Crown Pearl is very, very angular. It's arguably the most angular ball in the market. Yeah, the Phase 3 used R3S, so that was non-nano, so it was a little bit weaker. Okay. Calc, what causes the ball to not enter the roll phase? 43 feet, 25 mils, 5-1 house shot. Phase and blackout barely hook. So your ball might already be hitting the roll, like the roll phase might be happening. You might just go through the skid and the hook phase very early on the lane. So your ball is just hooking too early, especially with 25 mils. The phase and the blackout could be, it depends if you're talking about the physics blackout or the virtual energy blackout. Either way, they might just hook too early for you. That could be an option as well. One of the hardest things in bowling, your ball could either be hooking too late or too early, and it's very hard to see which is which. Joe Cool for rev dominant bowlers on a cliffed thin oil house shot. Is medium smooth, strong smooth better, or is weak smooth, weak sharp balls better? I would recommend a medium smooth ball to be able to play the cliff to start, but then going to weaker equipment is going to be key. Brian Sweeta starting a Get Your Gear League May 11th, getting 2 balls for the summer. That is awesome. Love to hear that. Yeah, there's a lot of Get Your Gear leagues or Have a Ball leagues that are starting in the summer as well. So what those leagues are is you pay a little bit of extra money per week, but then at the end of the league or in the middle of the league, one or the other, you get a free bowling ball. You basically pay for it for the entire season, so your bowling is discounted or the ball is discounted depending on how you want to look at it. So either way, you usually get equipment a little bit cheaper, and it's usually bowling balls that are not as popular, but still good. Like I've seen the Energize a lot on Have a Ball leagues this year. I've seen the Rockstar Amped. I've seen the Viking. I've seen the Super Sport already is on there a bunch. What else was on there? I think the Entity Pearl is already on a bunch of Have a Ball leagues. So if you're looking to get a new ball and you want a little bit of a discount, that could be a way that's a win-win. You get some practice and you get a bowling ball at the end, or two. Let's see. Zygarde. Don't want to sadly didn't qualify for Junior Gold due to me doing terrible during the winter. Back in summer, I used to dominate, but I just started to suck. Hey, that is all right to take a year off of that. That's a-okay, and just get ready for next year. That's all it is. James, let's see when Lane Tracks works. I like the videos with the stats. Mike, if you do a giveaway at 30K, it needs to be a ZVL chamois guaranteed to add 15 pins to your average. It does. And we have a lot of them right now. We are going to be having, I need to hit up some guys, but we might have a super secret one coming soon. You never know. We'll see. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Brooke, like I said, I'm completely changing to Brunswick, but sadly my spare ball and bags are completely storm. Any wrecks. Got a clear white, but it has so many cracks. I wouldn't switch until you have to. Spare ball, not that big of a deal. As long as it's still rolling okay and the fit is still okay, I wouldn't switch that. Same with the bags. If you're not on staff with a company, the bags don't matter. Like for me, I have a couple Brunswick bags. I have a couple Storm bags. I'm getting a couple of Turbo bags soon. I kind of have bags from everybody. So if you're not on staff, I wouldn't worry too much about what the bags are. It's not, it doesn't really affect a whole lot. Zygarde, I have a Phase 3 and I just bought a Gremlin Tour X. What are their uses for house and sport shot? So Tour X is going to be a very good sport shot ball. It's okay on house. It's very smooth. So if you want something really, really smooth, that's where the Gremlin Tour comes into play. Phase 3 is a bit older, so it's a little tougher to pinpoint where that ball fits nowadays. But when I had it in the past, it was more of a medium sharp ball. It would hook around the same spot as a Gremlin, but be sharper. So they're a little more similar than you'd expect. And ironically, they both are hybrids too. Very different kind of hybrids, but hybrids. Ian, sounds good. Hopefully we all kill it. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the teams are. So I still have no idea who I'm bowling with or Where? That's one of the tough things. So I will be very curious to see who I bowl with for nationals as well. RJ, is it a golden rule for right-handers to hit the pocket for a strike? Don't have a tilt in revs and from an extreme left side. The Brooklyn side is open or better at the target. Is it a golden rule for right-handers to hit the pocket for a strike? Generally, it's more consistent. It's just your chances of striking and your window of striking, your miss room is a lot higher if you're just hitting the regular pocket side. You don't have a tilt in revs, and from an extreme left side, the Brooklyn side is open or a better target. If you're just kind of like pointing the ball at the pocket, your odds of striking are not that high compared to actually hooking the ball. So that's why you don't see people just throwing it really hard and straight and having a lot of high scores. Like, you can still probably average 170 doing that. Like, the highest average I've ever seen with someone who throws perfectly straight is about 170. It's very hard to be above that, though, because there's a lot more randomness that gets included. So that's where hooking it is just generally better and easier and better to score with. Let's see. Zygarde, I'm a balanced bowler, and I've been sticking to Storm, but I've seen Hammer succeed more than Storm in some tournaments. What Hammer ball should I get first? Honestly, I would say right now, there is no brand that's better than the others. Right now is the most competitive I've seen the bowling market in a long time. Like, in the 2010s, Storm was dominating. Brunswick was doing really well between 2021 and 23 when Storm was struggling. Motive has been doing really well lately. All the brands are, I think, at a point where none are better than the other. They're just some different tendencies between each one. So I wouldn't think like, Hammer's the best brand out there because they won. Because AJ Chapman threw the Black Hammer on TV to win the Roth Holman doubles. Like, not really. I mean, if you look at it, all the brands are doing really, really well right now, and none of them really have many gaps in their lineup. But going back to your question, what is a hammer ball? What hammer ball should I get first? If you're going to get one hammer ball first, a Black Widow is always a good play. Black Widow Dynasty is your best first bet. When you're trying a new company for the first time, I recommend trying their GOAT bowling ball, whatever their best ball in the market is. For Storm, if you're just switching to them for the first time, start with a Phase 2, incredible bowling ball, or start with a High Road, incredible bowling ball. If you're going to Motive, Venom Shock, 10 out of 10 times. Venom Shock or Evoke Hysteria. If you're going to Hammer or the Brunswick brands, I'd start with like a Black Widow Dynasty. I would start with an Alert, something that's just, one of the best balls that they have, instead of trying some of the other stuff. Lucky Charms, did I like the new blue? Just got one. The new blue was supposed to be like a sport shot ball that acted like urethane. It's not. It's more of a house shot ball. So I wouldn't go for I wouldn't think of it as a urethane. I would think of it as a very smooth house shot ball. Chloe, I have a Dynasty paired with Bionic. Is it okay? Or are they too similar? No, I think that's a-okay to have those together. Absolutely. It's definitely okay to go there. Motive is great, but it's expensive. Yeah, that's the biggest issue right now with the Motive stuff is you do have the Motive tax on top of it all. So Motive has some great equipment. Venom Shock, Venom Hysteria, Evoke Hysteria. I love the Jackal Onyx. The issue just everything is that much pricier. The Venom Shock lines aren't that much pricier, but a lot of the other stuff is more expensive as a whole. So a lot of Motive guys like spending that and they're okay with it. They see it as more durable. Studies haven't really shown that, not really studies, but like results haven't really shown that a whole lot, that like a Motive ball lasts longer than a Hammer or Storm ball, but there are a lot of positives with the Motive equipment. Brian, doubt I was the first, but claiming coolest jersey with a ZVL logo. Got to be able to crack 600 between that and a ZVL chamois. There you go, man. That is awesome. Yeah, that jersey is sick. So remember, we are partnering with Apparel EFX. So if you are getting any jerseys, I recommend EFX. They actually just showed up. That was great timing. Use code ZVL for 10% off your order. So they have some awesome jerseys. I have 3 jerseys and a 4th one on the way from them. And well, actually all of my jerseys from the last couple of years are EFX. So I have 3 new jerseys with them with the logo on it, but they have some really sick designs right now. So I recommend checking them out as well. Devil Kid over on TikTok. I throw a Widow hybrid and an Ion Pro. I don't know where to go for arsenal building. So Devil Kid, check out the channel. We use a 6-ball categorization scale, or check out zvlbowling.com. Try to find those 2 balls. One of them is still in production. The Ion Pro is a medium smooth ball. Go just try to fill out each gap. Try to fill out the 6 categories is the best way to go at it. Haywood, I'm a backup bowler, and I have the one ovation. I want to build an arsenal around it. I would recommend weaker after that because the one ovation is very strong. So you might want to go with like some kind of symmetrical ball to pair with it. Marred, my pap is 6 right and down a half. Am I a full roller, and how do I define this? No, the only way to tell if you're full roller is one, you can't really be a full roller as much if you're two-handed, but the best way to tell is if your oil path goes between your fingers and your thumb. So with your stats, no, you're not a full roller. If your oil ring goes between your fingers and thumb, that's when you're a full roll bowler. Dom, I have a Brunswick Alert and a Crown Vic Pearl. Any suggestions for a third ball for a sport shot? I'd recommend strong and smooth. Something smoother than that is going to be really good. So you can get to like the Radical Evil Eye. You can get to things like the Track Synthesis, Ebonite Spartan. If you want to go a little cheaper, the Game Breaker 5 Solid is a really good option. That's only like $120 right now. So a lot of good options there. Ken, sometimes not the brand, it's the bowler thinking it. Yeah, no, I mean, right now, as a guy, I receive probably 150 messages a week right now, like per week, about bowling balls, and it's people's opinions on them, their thoughts, what the arsenals they're building. I have not seen a brand that just struggles at all. The most negativity I've received about a brand is from Swag Bowling. A lot of guys who are more on the balance or speed dominant side just can't get their balls to hook very much, and that's just how the brand is. It is a brand meant for rev dominant guys right now, but the other brands, everyone is very positive for. It fits a lot of styles. A lot of guys have balls for every single brand, and they all work very well for them. So it really depends on the bowler. It really depends on how you see it. Some shapes fit others better than others. Like right now, Brunswick, I think, has some of the most angular equipment on the market. So if you like that kind of ball motion, you might want to go with Brunswick. If you like really smooth and slow bowling balls, that's where Motive comes into play. And Storm's a little more in the middle, kind of leaning towards Brunswick in terms of their down lane motion. So there's really good stuff from all three brands, really. Really, really good stuff from every single brand. Justin, I have a Zero Mercy Solid and Transformer. It feels more angular. Are these okay together? Yeah, absolutely. That's where the Transformer is a weaker ball than you think. And I think it's getting kind of slept on right now because there have been so many releases. The Transformer is a ball down from your super strong and smooth. So if you have that Zero Mercy Solid, Ion Max, the Transformer is going to come below both of those, and it's going to be sharper down lane. Gonna be a little bit sharper down lane. All right. Also, drink of the day, I didn't actually talk about it. Ghost Blueberry, or Blue Raspberry, I should say. This is my favorite Ghost flavor right now, and also the colors are incredible. I'm a Blue Raspberry guy through and through, so I've been sipping on this all day, little by little. I finished about half of it, and I went to the pro shop to drill up that full effect in the Bionic, and now I'm kind of finishing the last half at 7 p.m. at night. Cheers. I don't have much left. Otherwise, as my backup, in case I ran out of that, I had Mountain Dew Voltage hanging out here, which is a little bit 3 months expired. Luckily, pop doesn't expire very easily. Yay. Do you recommend the Energize from 300 Dreaming? What lane conditions are ideal? So the Energize is I like it. It's a good ball. It's stronger and hooks more in the mid lane than a lot of other bowling balls. So it is a strong and sharp bowling ball. It's a hybrid, and it's a little smoother and earlier than you'd expect from a ball with the core numbers that it has. I see it as more of a fresh oil bowling ball. I don't like it on the burn very much. What mine came out of box at, I just did not like it. Noah Stevens, make sure you're not spamming over on TikTok chat, my boy. Take your time on posting the same thing. TikTok might boot you if you keep doing it. But I like the Energize. I like it for house shots a lot. I think it's a top 5 house shot ball on the market. So if you're going for that and you need something for the fresh, that's where it comes into play. That is where that ball comes into play. Joe Cool Snoopy. I have both a Summit Ascent and a Gremlin Tour, but my Ascent has a shorter valve, so it tends to be responsive. Gremlin is more predictable. Yeah. After throwing the Gremlin Tour a lot more, it is a very smooth bowling ball. It does not like down lane oil, but it is very slow overall. I don't know if that's just my ball roll, but I have it drilled pretty middle of the road and everything. And it is a very slow bowling ball. It likes those straighter angles. It doesn't like a lot of angle. It doesn't like a lot of down lane oil. It doesn't like longer patterns. It's a great ball in the right situation, but I see it as a little more niche than what I expected when I drilled it up. Like my original Ion Pro, I could throw on a lot of stuff, where the Gremlin just doesn't seem like it's as good on everything as the Ion Pro. But it seems like when the Gremlin is good, it's really good. The Ion Pro wasn't that way as well at all. Mr. Phil, for a 2026 Scorpion pattern, what category balls do you recommend? I've got all categories covered. You're thinking Zero Mercy Solid, Tour V1, Phase 2, Ion Max Pearl. Yeah, I think that's a good option. Scorpion is a lot heavier of a volume pattern, so those stronger balls are going to be the play. Charmaine, what do you think about this arsenal for women's nationals? Black Widow Dynasty, Zero Mercy Pearl, Bionic Alert, Phase 2 Pearl, Danger Zone. Yes. Oh, 100%. I think that's really good. That is fantastic. Chevy Boy, I started seriously bowling 2 weeks ago. What tips do you have for a beginner that has a raw hammer? Hey, congratulations. Welcome into Bowling Man. Really, really glad to have you here. So the big thing with starting off is just getting your feet under you. Really just kind of understanding how you're throwing it. Just understand, like try to get the muscle movement down a little bit more as you're starting. But then a lot of beginner tip videos are going to be your best friend. There's a ton of really good guides on YouTube just for beginner bowlers on what you should focus on, getting your hand behind the ball, what your footwork should look like, things like that. So I'd recommend checking those out while you're starting and just practicing up. So I think that's the best play. K-Brew, what's up? How you doing? Let's see. Mike, since 1/1/26, seems like every ball by every brand has been a banger with the exception of the Apex. Yeah, the Apex was a bit of a dud, but everything else this year has been really good. There's a couple like meh bowling balls. Like the Double Trouble isn't seeming like it's anything incredible. What else was? There was a couple other bowling balls this year that were like, they're fine, but most have been like really, really good bowling balls. G. Bryant, what's going on? Trying to decide which ball to go to between the Black Widow Mania and the Combat. You have a Zen 25, but it's kind of weak. I would go Combat is going to be a little further away and a little smoother. So it depends if you want smooth versus sharp in that spot. The Zen is very smooth. So if you need a ball up from that, that's where the Combat is good. But if you want a ball up that's quicker, that's where the Mania comes into play. That is where the Mania excels. All right, let's catch up over here. Zach Seidow, how you doing? I have a Storm Equinox Pearl at the moment. What's a good second ball? Something smooth. Something a little bit smoother is going to be a good play for you. So if you have an Equinox, you could go like Brunswick Alert. You could go Storm Phase 2, Rotogrip Rockstar, something like that. Giuseppe, do you think Belmo will make some TV shows in the future? Oh, yeah, 100%. So the PBA, transitioning to the PBA a little bit, the PBA is very, very tough where you have fields, 90 to 100 people a week, it seems like, and we only see the top 5 on TV. So it is very hard to make that top 5, and you need some things to go your way. Belmo is still top 10 in points right now, and he missed 2 tournaments, and he hasn't made a TV show. So if he makes a TV show or 2, he'll jump up into top 5 in points, and he's going to be a top 5 bowler without making TV that much. So I think really the things with Belmo is like he doesn't really fully complete a tournament right now. Like he has really good stretches, but there's times where he just struggles. And I think if he gets over those like points where he struggles, look out because Belmo will be back. But yeah, he's not doing poorly by any means. It's not like he's just having the worst season ever. He's still killing it, but we just haven't seen him on TV because bowling is tough with seeing guys on TV. There's a lot of guys that take 6th and 7th who deserve the TV show, but something unlucky happens and they miss it. So bowling is tough there. Noah, are the Phase 2 and Evoke Hysteria a good combo? Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Austin over on TikTok, I pretty much only use the Evoke Mayhem and Hysteria. Would the Venom Hysteria fit in that group? It'll be weaker than both. Yeah, it'll be a weaker option, but absolutely. I think it could be good. Definitely could be good. Americo, I have a Hammer Effect Tour and a Full Effect and a Rockstar. I was thinking of adding an Ion Pro Solid or Gremlin. I would go more towards the Gremlin. You have a lot of smoother balls with the Effect Tour and the Rockstar. So I think the Ion Pro Solid would just be a half of a ball down from there. If you want a bigger differentiation in your arsenal, Gremlin is a good play. Gremlin could be a really good play there. All right, we're actually getting pretty close to being caught up. We're only about 5-ish minutes off. Awesome. So if you haven't, make sure to drop a follow here or a subscription if you want to stay up to date on the channel. I am getting notifications from Snapchat. But the big thing I wanted to talk about today, we talked about a little bit earlier in the video, is summer bowling. What should you really do in summer bowling? So I want to tell you a little bit of what I've done in the past when summer comes around. So I live in Minnesota. Bowling alleys pretty much die out in the summer. Everybody wants to be outside. Everybody wants to be active because it is finally nice in this frozen tundra. So bowling alleys don't have that many people come in. So that means tournaments kind of die out. There aren't many leagues. There just isn't much to bowl, which is a-okay, because that to me is always the time that I try to fix large issues in my game. So if you're a bowler who, I mean, almost all of us here, we bowl league, and it's very tough to make fixes if you have league every week, because if I'm trying to fix something in my game, it isn't just a one practice day fix a lot of the time. Usually it's a very long-term fix. Tom Sawyer, thank you for the sub. So like, if I'm trying to fix my footwork, I can't just do that in an hour of practicing. It usually takes a couple of weeks to keep continuing to beat on it until you finally get to a point where it's changed. So it usually takes a couple weeks, couple months, whatever it may be, depends on the practice time that you have. The hard thing is, the minute that you turn the scoreboards on and you start bowling for score, a lot of your things you're trying to fix go out the window, because when you're fixing things in bowling, in golf, in a lot of sports, you're going to see your performance take a dive. It's just how it is. No matter what, if you're changing things that aren't your muscle memory, your scores just plummet. And in the summer, that doesn't matter because you're not bowling as much. So you can just ignore the score, just try to do what you can on fixing things so that by the time that August comes around or September and, you know, league starts, tournaments start, all that, you're starting to make that climb back up and you're going to be higher than you were previously. So if you're somebody out there who wants to fix your physical game in bowling, like not even talking bowling balls, but just fix your physical game, which all of us, you know, should focus on every once in a while. Like none of us throw it perfect here. Just not how it is. So if you want to try to be, summer is really the time where you can have that time to really grind things out. The other big positive, a lot of bowling alleys do what are called summer passes, where you pay $100 and then every day in the summer you can come in and bowl like 3 games. So it gives you that nice little chance where you can go in and actually get that practice in for a cheaper price as well. Not every bowling alley does that, but a lot of them do, which is really cool. So if you're somebody wanting to fix parts of your game, summer is the time to really grind at it. Summer is the time where you can kind of sit down and just fix things without caring about the score. Because when you practice, it is very, very big key. One of the biggest keys of it is not caring about your score. One of the biggest problems people run into is when they're practicing, they scoreboard watch way too much. And they're like, ooh, I need 3 strikes to shoot 200. And then all of the things they've been trying to fix out the window because they're just trying to strike now. They're only focused on that, because your head, when you're bowling and practicing, you have to focus on, all right, on this shot, I want my hand to be here on the backswing, and your brain just has to focus on that thing. And if you don't do it, your body's not going to do it. You're going to go back into your old ways. So I really, really recommend, if you're trying to fix your physical game, if you want to boost that average up, you want to learn a little bit, figure out things a little more, summer is the time to do it. So I highly recommend it in that way. And then otherwise, practicing on sport shots, another great one to do in the summer because you can get those opportunities. So kind of a win-win in a lot of ways. So hopefully that helps you guys kind of learn a little bit more and have an option to be able to get better. Let's see. James over on Facebook. When is open bowling at Spare Time Bowling Alley, and when is Champions Pro Shop open in hours? So Champions doesn't have the best hour setup ever, but I am there on Tuesdays from 5 to 8, and otherwise Spare Time has a lot of openings throughout the week and during the days. At night right now, they still have leagues for another two weeks, but after that, you're going to have Wednesdays and Thursdays are going to open up quite a bit, Wednesday and Thursday nights. Let's see. When I practice, if I strike, I score correct. So I can always have 2 shots a frame. We can't bowl without the lane scoring. No, the scoring is always going to be on. You can't really turn it off, but it's good to not care about it. That's the biggest thing. It's just, who cares if you're going to shoot 250 or 150 in practice? It's not a big deal. So just try to ignore what the score is and just try to fix what you're doing. So don't try to score hunt when in practice, because overall it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really do much. But very important things to do. I have a tournament coming up this weekend. I'll be bowling on a house shot that's a bit more oil and higher friction. There you go. Good luck, man. Jeff, thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I think what time do you bowl? I gotta check that out. Wood Bay, been using the hammer raw for about a month. Rev rate, speed, and control all improved, but now it's hooking too soon. I'm having to heave it down the lane rather than roll it. New ball time. So the hammer raw shouldn't really be hooking too early. So I'd recommend trying to boost up your ball speed. So I'm guessing your rev rate has improved, but your ball speed hasn't like kept up with it. While it probably has improved, it probably hasn't kept up with that pace. So I'd recommend trying to boost that ball speed and not trying to chuck the ball, but trying to use your feet to throw it faster. Sir Jones, what's going on? I currently throw an old Radical Katana Strike, Jackal Ghost, a fairly new Heckler Solid. Just got a severe collision in a mystery box. Is that a good ball in general? Can it fit or replace you? Just got a severe. Yeah, that's going to kind of fit where the Katana Strike fits. So I think that is a pretty good one to pick. I think that'll be good. Nails strikes. I have a question. Do PBA bowlers cry if someone uses urethane? No, they don't. PBA bowlers don't cry that much. They get angry, but they don't cry. I'm kind of curious where that question's going to go, because I feel like there's a part 2. Or it's a guy who's saying, I throw urethane 100% of the time, no matter what, just to mess with my people around me. Mike, we got an EFX jersey in the purplish realm with the purple ZVL logo. Absolutely. Thanks for the 10% off. Absolutely. I'm glad you used it. Thank you so much. I'm glad it helped. Glad to help get that price a little bit lower. Tom Sawyer Golf started summer leagues next week for the first time since 01 and 02. Nice. You have a danger zone and a T-zone for spares. Local owner recommended a hammer raw for later games. Yeah, I think that's a good option. The other one is a Storm Tropical Surge. That's going to be best after the danger zones for you. 300 Dreamin', what ball replaces the Scorpion Strike? The Hammerhead Pearl is the best option. Owen, a local college is trying to get me to transfer to bowl, but currently I have an academic full ride at my current college. Yeah, no, Owen, the big thing, number one, when you're in school is your degree, because at my old job, I was making more than most PBA bowlers. So to go to college solely for bowling is never the best idea. Getting your education is number one, and getting your degree in what you want, and having no student loans is awesome. So congrats on that. K-Brew, it's crazy how lost the Transformer got. Dude, the Gremlin, or not the Gremlin, the Transformer and the Vengeance, both just forgotten about completely, which is so sad. That Vengeance looks really good. The Vengeance looks great, but I just don't see it that much anymore, which is sad. Great marketing behind it. It did a really good job early. I just don't know how it's doing right now. Let's see. Kicks. Have you ever bought and used a ball just because it looks appealing? 100%. Think about picking up an Equinox because I love the purple and gold. Oh yeah, 100% I do. I bought the Ebonite Spartan solely because it is like a half remaster of an old ball I really liked. Only reason. Otherwise, some other ones I got a lot of my overseas stuff that I bought like 4 overseas balls in my life. Most are for looks. My IQ Tour Winner, which is like a slightly stronger cover IQ Tour, that one I bought actually for use. The rest of them were for looks. 100% for looks. That's all right. It doesn't matter why you buy a ball. If you buy it for looks, if you buy it for performance, whatever it may be, that's awesome. I will never fault somebody for getting a ball because it looks cool. Because if you're going to throw it, might as well look cool. Like, I know when I got the driver I have right now in golf, I got it because it looked cool. I was 16 at the time, or no, I was in college. I was like 20 at the time. I was like, I need a new driver. Mine snapped on me, head flew off. And I was like, ooh, that one looks cool. And then it felt really good too. So I was like, yeah, sold. I'm in. Not even thinking about it. Impulse purchase a concept for that reason. There you go. Exactly. It happens. Kate, what's going on? Favorite thing to say? I have a gap in my arsenal. Yeah, it works. I have a gap right where that ball could fit. That's perfect. I'm in 100%. Yeah, no, that is one of the best things. Like, did I really need this Storm Bionic that I got? No, not at all. Other people like it, so I'm using it as a test. I am just testing it for the job and hoping it looks good. Hopefully it does. Mark starting a Sport Shot League this summer, going with the Black Widow Dynasty, Black Widow Mania, and Ion Pro Solid. No, I think that's a great start to an arsenal. Try that out. See what you can do. You'll be throwing the Black Widow Dynasty quite a bit, so be ready for that. James, when is open? Oh, yeah, we hit that one. Chubbs, I have a tournament coming up this weekend. Oh, yeah, we hit you again. Man, I am doubling up on all my comments. Let's see. What would be the next step up from a Rhino for a high friction center? Yeah, the Revenges, Danger Zones, Hustles are all balls up. All of those will be balls up. That'll work well. Greg Muncie, good ball to go with your Mania. Alert. Honestly, Brunswick Alert is a good option. Great option. Mike, will EFX ever add your logo as a selectable logo from their dropdown? It definitely won't be a selectable logo by any means because they only have the ball companies there, and I think the ball companies pay a pretty penny to get there. I do not have a pretty penny to pay for that. But I mean, maybe in the future we're gonna have a ZVL logo on it. That'd be kind of cool. Like some signature ZVL ones. Like a lot of the guys on there they make their own jerseys, like they have their own design. So maybe, I don't know. I'm new to this, so we'll see. I hope they add the logo. I'm lazy. Just let me push a button. Yeah, that would make it easier. I know. I ran into that when I was adding a couple of my logos as well. It's like, oh, I would love if this was just copy paste. So I just now have a folder on my computer with my logos and headers that I use, and I just use those logos. It works out well. Robin, what pattern are you using for your tournament? Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, I am running a tournament here in Minnesota in the middle of May, May 16th. It is a dual pattern tournament, so 2 different patterns. We're going to have the 2026 Minnesota State Tournament oil pattern is going to be on one of the lanes on every single pair. On one of the lanes will be in my easy pattern, which is our state tournament pattern. I say it's easy because scores are through the roof this year. So it's like a 7-to-1 ratio. So I see it as a little bit easier. And then on the other lane, I'm putting an older USBC Masters pattern from a couple of years ago. That one is same exact length, but a heck of a lot harder. So it's going to be 2 longer patterns. Both are about 43 to 44 feet, but one of them is easy. One of them is difficult. So that is what we are using for that tournament. I'll be having more info coming out on the tournament very, very soon. Yeah, I should expect some more tomorrow. I want to clean up the event page a bit more. I did order a bunch of live streaming equipment, so I am going to be live streaming the event on YouTube as well as TikTok. It's going to be really fun. Should be an awesome day. So if you're in the Minnesota area and you want to come say hi, absolutely, I highly recommend it. Should be a super fun time. Let's see. Mean Boy, have you ever used a Rubicon? Yes, I have, and I loved my old Rubicon. I see the Gremlin Tour X as like a baby version of the Rubicon. Like the Rubicon was a little bit stronger, a little bit smoother, but then the Gremlin Tour is a little bit weaker, but a similar down lane reaction. So I think people who liked the old Rubicon, they will like the Gremlin Tour X a lot. Angel, thoughts on the Super CUDA Pearl for Rev Dominant two-handers? I threw my Super CUDA a lot. I have one. I just haven't really loved it that much. I think Rev Dominant guys are going to like it because you can play deeper on the lane. It's a lot weaker than I expected. Like, it fits with the specs and everything, but it just feels weaker than what I thought it would be. So a Rev Dominant guy, I think, is going to really like that. Drewski, any ball similar to the Physics Blackout right now? Ooh. Ion Max Pearl is going to be the closest you're going to get. That is the absolute closest bowling ball you're going to find on that, which is a little bit sad. There isn't much like the Physics right now. Jace, I was wondering if I need a ball for medium to light oil. Wondering if you have suggestions. Yeah. What did you have? Oh, yeah, you never gave your arsenal. Let me know what you have, Jace. C. Klein, what is the best urethane-like ball? Concept, 100%. Concept is going to be the best that we have in a while for a urethane-like ball. The Hammer NU is NU 2.0 is next. Brian, I love my Vengeance. It's the best ball I've thrown at tournaments so far. So close to cracking 600 on the tougher patterns. Want to bowl Sport Shot this summer if I can. There you go. Yeah, that is a very good Sport Shot bowling ball, is the 900 Global Vengeance. It is very big, very smooth, very slow down lane, can keep your angles in front of you, a little more controllable. Fantastic option for that. I was actually thinking of buying a Vengeance or a Track Stealth mode for Nationals this year. I thought that would be a decent option, so I'm kind of tempted. If I can find a used Vengeance, I might do it. Because I don't get, for anyone here, I don't receive any equipment right now, so I buy all the stuff that I have. So yeah, I don't receive nothing. Mike, testing the Bionic for the job. Sounds like a tax write-off. That's what I was thinking, man. It's a write-off. Jace, you have a Zero Mercy Solid, Hammer Effect, and Physics Blackout. Yeah, weaker balls are going to be the play. Yeah, you definitely would like a symmetrical ball. Those are 3 very strong bowling balls. So like Brunswick Alert, honestly, like even a Rocket AI from Storm, or even if you want to go super weak with like a Monsoon, with a Venom Shock, I think that would be a good option just to have something a little bit weaker. But I don't really use my effect because it's down a weight. Yeah, I make sure you're always using the same weight and everything. A good tip for everybody, I hear that a lot, is people have different weight bowling balls. Don't do that because it messes with your timing a little bit too much. So make sure all of your equipment is the same weight. Unless you're on the pro tour or you're a high level amateur, it's very hard to switch weights willy-nilly. But for if you're trying to learn, or if you are a newer bowler, whatever it may be, having the same weight bowling ball is key to really getting your timing down. Because, for example, we're going to use me as a test dummy here. If I'm throwing a 15-pound ball and I get here, my arm does its normal speed because you're not trying to muscle the ball, you're trying to let the ball do its work. If it's a 14-pound ball, you might get here quicker and you might pull down quicker. So that's going to mess with your timing. It's going to make you early and it's going to cause issues. So if you have different weights, even though it just is 1 pound, that matters a lot. So make sure you don't use multiple different weights. It's not beneficial to your form and not beneficial to your timing. So highly recommend that. Highly, highly recommend that. Chubbs, if my ball is over 300 games on it and resurfacing and polishing isn't giving it the reaction, should I replace it or buy a new ball? It's a combat, not polish. Yeah, if you're at that point where the ball just is not balling anymore, I would recommend a new one. Bowling balls do wear out. They do puke out and die. So I think that's what happened there, which is unfortunate. Super sucks, but it is the name of the game. Jaden Miller and Kate, thank you for the follows on TikTok. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you, thank you. And Kate with a question or a comment. I'm drilling a Motive Venom Hysteria tomorrow for League Night. I think it's the next GOAT. I've heard amazing things about that ball so far. It is exciting to see how good that ball has been received so far. And I think today was only the official release date. So I'm going to be listening a lot in the next couple of weeks to see if people are really liking it when they actually get it. Because like when there's ball reviews, you only learn so much about a ball because 99% of reviews are going to be overly positive about every new ball coming out. It's just the name of the game. It gets you more views. It gets you more follows. It gets you less hate. So, oh, that's an interesting comment. I've seen really good things though from everybody in general, so I'm hoping that continues. Really, really hoping it continues. Daniel Horn, I really enjoy and appreciate the content. I recently got back into bowling and I finished the 9-pin league and I'm signed up for 2 in the summer. There you go. That is awesome, Daniel. Welcome back in. Glad to have you into the bowling world and welcome, welcome. Pete Noose. Agreed. Silly, I'm going into a Sport Shot League. What urethane-like ball should I get that's legal? Concept. Concept is the best play. Daniel Horn, this is the arsenal I'm working with. 15 in total. Brother, didn't you just say you started? I just got back into bowling. And you have 15? Are they all new? Oh, no, they're slightly older. Okay, good. I thought you just got like 15 new ones this year. I was like, whoo, that's a lot. But you have a lot of different bowling balls. Nice. What do I think? I'm thinking Gremlin Tour as a 1 ball. Yeah, you don't really have anything around that Gremlin Tour, so that could work pretty well. Kicks, about a week after the PBA is here in Minnesota. Should be a good time for a tournament. That's what I was thinking as well. I don't think any of the PBA guys will sign up. I have 0 connections to PBA bowlers. And the tournament is already full, but it is right after the World Series of Bowling. So should be a fun time. Hopefully maybe some pros that are just leaving come by to say hi, jump with me in the booth. The commentary is going to be fully open. I'm going to have 2 mics going for YouTube and for TikTok. So hopefully we can get a few people in that way. I have a friend who's going to be jumping in the booth already with me for a bit. But you know, if Chris Barnes happens to come by, I will give him the boot so fast for that. Don't tell him I said that. I don't think he's watching. But yeah, I would not be against it. Insert name. Can you use regular sandpaper instead of Abralon? I don't recommend it. I recommend Abralon. Abralon, Vice, or Creating the Difference True Cut pads are going to be your play. What's your favorite house shot ball? Right now, I like the Rockstar Amped as my number 1. The Brunswick Energize is really good for me as a house shot bowling ball. Otherwise, what have I had success with? Viking I did really well with for a while. Phase 2 Pearl I really liked as a house shot ball. Yeah, I broke 800 with the Amp. That's my highest series and game of the year. I have a 300, 800 with that ball. Otherwise, what have I liked? What have I liked so far? The Spartan I've really liked at Shiny. A few stronger bowling balls have been my favorites for that. Robin, how does the Gremlin Tour compare to the hammered Black Widow Tour? Black Widow Tour is weaker. Definitely a weaker and sharper bowling ball than the Gremlin Tour is what I've seen. Tony, thinking back to tournament at El Toro, what kind of ball do you wish you would have used that day? Ooh, good question. I wish I would have had stronger equipment. I think was my big issue with that day is I knew it was wood lanes, and generally weaker bowling balls are best on wood lanes, but they put out a lot of volume and the wood lanes are very well kept up there. So I wish I would have had stronger stuff. I think a phase 2 would have been money there. Phase 2, Rockstar, even my Effect Tour would have been pretty good. Even like stuff a little stronger than that. I don't really have much between the Effect Tour and like my Ion Max right now, but I think some balls there would be a lot better than what I brought that day. So yeah, I think some stronger and smoother stuff would be better to blend out that cliff, because it's a pretty cliffed house shot is what it felt like. So I think that would have guaranteed a lot higher of a score, but that's all right. I made $30. I'll take that as a win. Bowl there every Tuesday, so thank you for the advice. Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, if it's the same shot you guys use at League, I'd use that. Let's see. David just ordered a jersey from EFX. Hey, that's awesome. Love to see it. D Fish, what driver did you get? Has to be TaylorMade. I think it was an let me remember. I think it was an Arrow Burner at the time. Arrow Burner. Is that the white head one? Yes, it was a TaylorMade Arrow Burner. Yeah, that was my baby. I hit a lot of drives a long ways with that ball. I think that is still the driver I have, but I do need to get refit sometime in the next couple of weeks. I do want to go in and get some new clubs. I was going to do it over the winter, and when I was running, my full-time job and this, I just never had time. So I got to get in sooner rather than later to try to get some new clubs, because I'm 6'5" and lanky, so I need to figure out what my actual fit should be, because I just haven't really had clubs that fit me all that well. I honestly don't know. I honestly have no idea. Sonny, any tips on buying used bowling balls? Yes. 3 tips for used bowling balls. Number 1, don't spend over $100 on a used bowling ball. Not worth it, because the plugging and the drilling is going to cost you money as well. So incorporate that into the price. Number 2, the biggest thing to remember is don't buy a ball that's been plugged more than one time. If the fingers and thumb have been plugged, that's a-okay. If there's multiple spots that have been plugged on the ball, stay away from it. It's not worth the money. The odds of it cracking after you plug it many times goes up and up and up and up. And then number 3, make sure to buy it from a reputable guy. Don't get scammed. That's the big one, is try to avoid the basic scam procedures. Like, make sure that they are posting an actual picture of the ball. They're not posting a stock image. So use those tips to make sure that you're not doing that. Daniel, planning to add an Ion Max Pearl transformer and something for low end. There you go. G. Brian, our local center charges $10 and it's unlimited bowling. That's an awesome price. I really like that. That's a really cool idea. Brian, your layout is 5x4x3. Thinking about drilling my one ovation a little stronger. If you go a little stronger and you want to go with VLS, you could go like 4.5x4x4. Wouldn't be too bad. I think what you have right now is very versatile, so you'd have to get a little on the stronger side. I would honestly like get close to matching 5x4x3, honestly. All right. Question from Tristan. Why are bowling balls so expensive? So this is kind of one where it's hard to say, but they aren't. So bowling equipment is cheaper than a lot of other places with the use you get out of it. So if you buy a pair of golf clubs, it'll run in the thousands of dollars usually if you buy a new pair, and they'll last you for a while, but they do wear out. And for a bowling ball, it's, after drilling and everything, $200 to $250 most of the time, and that'll last you a couple of seasons. So for that season of bowling, you're spending $250 on a new ball, plus whatever your league fees are, which are generally cheaper than other sports. So it's more expensive than buying one basketball and a pair of basketball shoes and using that for 5 years, but it is cheaper than other sports. And right now, bowling makes very little money on bowling balls. Like, the ball companies don't make a crazy amount of money on the bowling balls that they're pouring, because it is expensive to make a bowling ball. The products that go into it are pricier. So that is one of the tough things with the sport is, just to make one is not cheap at all, which is unfortunate. Hubert, does EFX allow full-on custom jerseys, or you have to go with their pre-made design? So you have to go with their pre-made colors. You do have options to get like a bulk order of a custom one. Like if you're getting a jersey for your school or something, all the logos are fully customizable though. So you can put whatever logos you want in all of the logo places. So your chest, your upper pec, upper on each side, you have your sleeves, you have the back of the jersey, you have everywhere. Like I remember in high school, we ordered some, or not high school, college for like 4 tournaments. We had a college team and we were able to fully make custom ones for our college with ease. Pick the colorway, pick the logos, all of it was perfect. So yeah, you can change a lot of it, but the colors, you just have to pick some of their presets. And they have literally hundreds upon hundreds of preset colors, so no worries there. Dr. Wisdom, next week is finals, and on Monday, we're in second out of 26 and 6 points back. On Tuesday, we're first and 3.5s up, and first place is $20,000. I like your league. That's a fun league to join. Wow. Wow. Daniel, and everything you bought new and only have 1 season or less on them. There you go. Justin, curious to see what new balls will be on display at this year's Bowl Expo. Yeah, expect some really cool ones. Bowl Expo is always a fun time to see a lot of bowling balls. And I will be able to get you firsthand footage of Bowl Expo this year because I will be attending Bowl Expo. So I will be able to see those bowling balls as they get announced. And I think they usually have like a trade show / a demo of them. So I'm excited to see if I can try them when I'm there. I don't know if I try them or not, or if some pros do. Either way, I'm excited to see the bowling balls. I'll get whatever clips I can for you guys. And it will be the most coverage you will ever see from a Bowl Expo in history because I'm going to cover everything. I don't think Bowl Expo knows that yet, so surprise. Hopefully someone there watches this. Oopsie, I should tell someone. Oh well, not a big deal. They'll get over it. How does Black Tour 1 compare to something like a Bionic or Shock? Weaker than both of them. The Black Widow Tour V1 is a little bit of a weaker and quicker ball than you'd expect. The Mac, best 2-ball bowling bag. My strike force keeps tipping over. I personally do not recommend 2-ball bags that have wheels or a roller. I recommend the totes. I think those are best. I don't, my tote is in the garage, but I just recommend the over-the-shoulder totes. They're cheaper, they're easier, they're less cumbersome. 10 out of 10 would recommend those. I just never really recommend the rollers. Rollers are too easy to break in bowling. It's a lot of weight that they're carrying around and they're just hard to use. Angel, what's the strongest category I really realistic need on house shot as a rev dominant 2-hander? Medium. The medium categories are as strong as you need to get. ZVL, glad I caught the live. Hey, Chip, I'm glad you're here, man. Glad you're here. Love it. Let's see. Mo, best replacement for an IQ Tour. I wore the heck out of that ball. IQ Tour. They still make them, so IQ Tour is a great option. If you don't want an IQ Tour, though, if you still want to stay in the Storm Camp, the Storm Monsoon, if you want to go somewhere else, you're going to get Dark Side Curse. Brian, Zach getting booted from Bowl Expo for filming where he shouldn't. No, I'll ask permission sometimes. I'm actually kind of bad with asking for permission on filming some things. So I don't know. Hopefully they like a lot of it. I see it as a net positive for them because they're going to get coverage on an event that no one sees much about. Should be a win. What do you think is a good replacement for the conspiracy? Yeah, we already hit this one. I said stealth mode solid. Daniel, my oldest ball that I have is an AMF whip. Sheesh. Wow. Ass and oldie. Justin, replacing your finger grips once a season for a once-a-week league bowler, good practice? Yes. I think, if I remember right, Turbo's recommendation, as I drop everything, Turbo's recommendation is every 60 games, if I remember right. I believe that's what they recommend on their website. So I would recommend around that as well, 60 to 100 games. Or do they say 100? It might be 100. Let me look. They have it on the Turbo website. Let's see. Turbo bowling. New grips or replace grips, we'll say. Replace grips. There it is. They are saying 6 months or every 60 games. I did get that right. Look at me go. Man, that's heroic. That's beautiful. So yeah, every 60 games is when you should. I'm also really bad at that. Joe, apology if you answered, but Gremlin Tour X or Summit Ascent for a house shot. Rev dominant guy, thin oil. I would go Summit Ascent. It's going to be a little weaker, a little quicker. Tattooed French fries coming soon. ZVL coverage of Bowl Expo. Time to tune in. Yes, that'll be coming. That's late June, early July. And we're going to have a little bit of a surprise while we're out there. I can't say for certain yet. I can't say for sure. But there might be a little bit of a collaboration happening around that time. Stay tuned. We'll have a little more coming soon. But you know, Bowl Expo seems like a great time to get out there and spread the wings. And I got a really cool invite. So we're going to see what happens. You might see more of me. You might see more of me. I understand he attends Phil attends Bowl Expo every year. Yeah, I have no bad blood for any of the guys that have talked smack about me in the past. Like, I have thick skin. It's hard to get under it. I don't know if any, I mean, I'm always open to talk to anybody and everybody who likes me or dislikes me. No worries on my end. I've been in conversations where people despise me. I've been in conversations where people really like me. I good with whatever. Yeah, I don't hold grudges really. Just not really a thing I do. I don't really, lose sleep over it. So yeah, if anybody who wants to ever talk to me, like if it's people who don't like me, I'm in. I don't care. But with that, if you guys ever see me anywhere, please come say hi. Please do. I'm always in for a conversation, always in saying hi to you guys. It's always a fun time. One of my favorite things is like being able to be in a bowling alley and someone comes by and is like, hey man, I really like your content. Help me pick out this ball or this ball. And I have a quick question. I love it. Absolutely love it. So please never hesitate to come and say hi if you see me. It's usually very easy to see me too. I'm usually the tallest guy in the room. So just look for the really tall, lanky guy in a ZVL logo of some kind. There's very few times I'm in a bowling alley and not wearing a ZVL logo at this point. Are you allowed to snoop around in the Brunswick booth? I mean, I can ask them. No, I honestly don't know what the booths look like. So I know, hopefully I'm going to be able to know or at least meet a lot of people there who I've met online. So yeah, I'm hoping to talk to all the ball companies in some way, shape or form. I've got contacts with all of them at this point, just certain people. So yeah, I'll be able to ask anyone in Brunswick who's there some fun questions and have some good conversations with them. So I'll let you guys know. Jaybird, is the Heckler Solid and Black Widow Dynasty a good pairing for a challenge pattern if we top load it? Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a good differentiation between those two balls that you'll be A-okay. Mr. Phil, what do you recommend to bring 2026 Scorpion? I'd say stronger and smoother bowling balls is always best on Scorpion because there's usually a lot of volume on it. 43 feet, just a touch on the longer side. So stronger and smooth is going to be a good play for the fresh, and then stronger and sharp for the transition and burn. Bowl Expo trip, another tax write-off. This is all, that's all of this is the career. So absolutely, we got write-off after write-off. No one tell the IRS. Let's see. Bowl Expo is a great opportunity to steal some ideas. Is it getting old now? I got told I steal ideas again last week from someone. That was it. I don't know what ideas I'm stealing. Let me know if you guys see me ever steal ideas, because from my knowledge, I haven't. I hope I'm not accidentally stealing ideas. I just found out Sweep the Rack does a how to improve bowling segment. I didn't realize they did that. I don't watch them much. I see some of their clips, but that's about it. And I had somebody, Ringing 10, did Ringing 10 show up today? Where is he at? Are you in the chat? Show yourself, man. Where, I was going to call him out earlier. I haven't seen him comment yet, but where is Ringing 10 with a couple numbers behind his name? Say that you're here. Last week on Sweep the Rack, I guess he came in and said, ZVL is stealing your segment. Is exactly what he said to the guys. And they, of course, got a little defensive. Like, what do you mean he's stealing stuff? And they thought I was stealing Worst of the Week, which is a segment they do where they just showcase the worst social media post of the week. Usually it's like something AI related or something someone does calling bowlers stupid or whatever it may be. But they said I was stealing. I was like, what? No, I'm not. And it turns out they were saying that I stole their how to improve bowling, which that's a very broad topic. And I also had no idea that they did that. And I think I made like 2 short form videos on how to improve bowling. So I wanted to call out Ringing 10. If you watch this afterwards, I'm coming for you. You almost got Sweep the Rack to start freaking out at me. I also offered to be on their show and they didn't answer. That was sad. I know they won't watch this, but if they do, I am not against it. But let's see what else is going on. Recommended layout for a rev dominant thrower. So Masashi, I would recommend you wait until 11 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. I have a video going out where Brunswick has a ton of really cool layout guides that they have released that are official layout guides from their core designers and from everybody there that they collaborated on. So I recommend waiting until then and then watching that. It gives you some really good options depending on what bowler you are, and it gives you some good starting spots for arsenals. So I think that could be really good. All right, let's check over here. Michael, how do I find a good bowling pro shop to buy my first ball? I would recommend whatever bowling alley you usually go to right now. I'd ask around, either ask in your league or ask people at the desk, whatever it may be. There aren't really any online review guides for pro shops, so you'll have to ask around a little bit is the best way. Grayson, you did an Arsenal video a little while ago. I have a question about my Arsenal. Yeah, ask away. You have a Black Widow 2.0, Hypnotize, Dark Side, IQ Tour, Zen 25, Purple Hammer 78. Awesome. Yeah, that's a really good arsenal right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you'll have to get rid of 1. You'll probably get rid of the IQ Tour, in all honesty, or you're going to get rid of that Hypnotize, one or the other. So I think that'll be best. How does the new Rocket AI compare to an IQ Ruby? Oh, earlier and quicker. Definitely earlier and quicker. Robert David, did you ever get a response from Elise? She was way out of line. No. She read my message and then didn't answer. Yeah, for anyone, just FYI, I don't like publicizing a lot of the bowling drama. Last week, Nate and Elise got at it with the Lavery Spar brothers. I made a meme that said 0 days since the last bowling drama. Elise sent a very, albeit very rude message in my comment section saying I steal content and I don't have organic views. And I DM'd her asking like, hey, what are you talking about, man? I'm kind of curious, like, if there's anything, I know we've never interacted, so if there's anything that you see I did wrong, like, I would love to know. And she read it and didn't answer, which was expected. I wouldn't see her answering. But no, I never heard anything, unfortunately. So I tried taking the professional approach and yeah, didn't work out. But oh well, not a big deal. Expected. Mike, watch a couple episodes of Sweep the Rack. They're so negative. They could be an electron. Does bowling have issues? Sure, but focus on the fixes. That's one of the big things with bowling. Yeah, bowling is a very negative community a lot of the time. We like focusing on the negatives. But we don't really give solutions to those negatives. And I think that's one of the big things that we miss out on as a community that others really actually succeed at. A lot of areas are like, we have problem. All right, here's fix. Major League Baseball, for example, automatic ABS system, automatic balls and strikes. Love it or hate it, it's making the game more accurate. One of the biggest issues people have had with baseball is, hey, the umpires suck. Remember Angel Hernandez? He was terrible. His balls and his percentage of getting things right was very low. Well, not like very low. It was like 90%, but it wasn't 100%. So that was bad. Bringing in that system fixes that. Or, speeding up the time between innings, speeding up the games. That was a big problem that was causing baseball to do that. Baseball has started doing a lot better lately, which is really cool. So on there, they, that was the positive, is they saw a problem. They came up with solutions and fix it. Bowling, we like to find the problems, but we like to focus on the problems forever and ever and ever and ever, which is unfortunate, but that is how the system is. So I think if some of the people or even just all of us in general, if instead of just harping on the negative, we harp on the negative, but have a solution in mind or spitball solutions, helps a lot. What I have found in this industry is that everybody is listening to everything that happens. Like, there's probably some industry professionals who are going to be listening or are listening to this podcast or this live stream right now. So coming up with true solutions for problems in the game is very, very important. Like last year, for example, I made a video on how to improve the PBA Battle of the Brands. I don't think Battle of the Brands is being used at its fullest potential. I think it could be one of the greatest things in it, in bowling, but I don't think we're utilizing it right. So I gave some solutions, and I think that's something we don't do. Yeah, Brian, Luke posted about positivity in bowling and addressing problems head on the other day, and there were some good comments. Yeah, the only piece I didn't agree with him on is that bowling is a very positive place. I have no idea where he's seeing that. I think bowling is a very negative place, unfortunately. Like, we like to focus on the negatives. And I was going to make a comment and I backed out I was in enough drama for the week. And Luke, I won't get in drama with Luke. He's a good dude, and I can talk to him on the side and no big deal. But yeah, he's an awesome follow. He's an awesome dude. But I don't know where the positivity is from, honestly. Like he said, bowling tries to like say like you need to be more positive. I think what bowling is doing is trying to say we need to come up with solutions, not really we need to stay positive. You don't have to like just take the punch and like smile through it. It's take the punch. All right, what do we do to make sure we don't get punched next time? And I think one thing we don't do is really like appreciate the positives in this sport. We don't really, focus on the good. We just had Born to Bowl on HBO. We had a bowling show on one of the largest streaming platforms in the world. And that is a top 10 TV series right now. And no one in bowling cares. It's insane. Like they've watched it, but we don't really, I see so few comments and posts about Born to Bowl. It's so sad because that series is so, so good. And it's so good for the sport. But unfortunately, like we're like, let's go back to yelling about urethane. Like, no, it's unfortunate. But yeah, it's a big thing. I think just trying to find ways to make the negatives good, like trying to solution them. I'm an IT guy, very black and white guy. If I have a problem in my code, I don't really focus on it and complain about it. What I do is, all right, cool, it happened. Put in fix, implement fix as soon as possible, and then move on is a big one. All right, let's see. Brooke, is the axe spare ball a good or does it interfere with urethane rules? Does not interfere with urethane rules at all. It is still viable everywhere. Let's see. Robert, what'd you say? That's disappointing, but good on you. As a much older man than you, I must say I admire your professionalism, passion, and ability to take the high road, which many like myself would like to think they do, but in reality, it's much more difficult. Thank you so much. It's been a little harder to do. Like behind the scenes, you can hear me venting and complaining to my fiance a lot about a lot of these situations. And it's unfortunate that it keeps happening, but I have found in my 2 years now that taking the high road has been the best option. Getting into high school drama on Facebook doesn't really get anyone anywhere. It gets you clicks and it gets you views, 100%. Like if my goal was to become the biggest content creator with the most followers ever, 100%, you go into the drama, you go into the engagement farming, you sell some t-shirts, you make a load of money. But my goal is to make bowling the best it can be by the time I'm done. And that doesn't really help us there. It ruins it lowers things. So it depends what your goal is, really, overall. Only Born to Bowl was great, but I wish it was longer and had more in-depth, and it's excellent, and Ben Stiller, HBO, and all those involved did a great job. Absolutely. And that's where, yes, I mean, the biggest complaint I would have is I want more, which is the best complaint for a TV show. Like when Game of Thrones was in its glory, I would get done with the season. I'm like, man, I want more. I need more. And that is the perfect complaint because it means the show did what it was supposed to do. And yes, I wish that those guys made those hour-long episodes, but I get it. Bowling is something that hasn't been on TV like as a show since 2004, 2006, whenever League of Ordinary Gentlemen came out, right? Is that the name of it? League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, League of Ordinary, whatever that one was. The one with Pete and Chris and a couple of those guys. But I think that is a positive. And I think hopefully the reception and the viewership is high enough to greenlight season 2. I know there have been rumors of a season 2, but I mean, the directors have already mentioned it in interviews where like, we would love to keep going with a season 2 with maybe some new people involved or deeper into the other guys. So I think if viewership and ratings are high enough, they could. So that's the big one. That's why as bowlers, it's great to support that stuff. The League of Ordinary Gentlemen. Thank you, Mean Boy. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think as bowlers, if we can, boost those rating numbers, boost those viewer numbers, we could get season 2. That's deeper. Maybe season 3. We could get Ben Stiller to show up to more stuff. There's a lot of positives that can happen. So hopefully it works out. Yeah, I would love a season 2. I think season 1 was our, like, we tiptoed into the shallow end of the pool is how I like to see it. And I've talked to Jared, one of the guys on Born to Bowl, who covered a lot of it on Instagram. We follow each other. He's been an awesome dude to talk to. And he always asks for my review every week, which was really cool. So it was very cool to hear some of his side of it because they play the hard game of we don't want to make something just for bowlers because that has a set audience. Like if we made something where it was just bowlers care and no one else watches it, that's called the PBA shows. Or that's like a YouTube channel where the views are going to be a lot lower. But if they boost it, try to make it for bowlers and non-bowlers and hit that fine line in between the two, make both sides happy, that's where you make a banger. And I feel like they did a good job at that. I think they did a really good job with that. Like I watched most of it with my fiance and she was very impressed, and she is not a bowler. Like she's learned a lot of bowling through me, but she doesn't bowl. So it was very cool for her to be able to see it. Yeah, and that's the hard part. It was on HBO. What I recommend, like if you really want to watch it, what you can do is get a 1-month subscription to HBO. This is something my manager at my old job used to do. He would get 1-month subscription. He'd watch everything he can on that network, and then he'd drop it. And then he'd do it again, because usually there's little deals that go on. Like HBO, you might be able to get it for like $5 for a month. You watch all of it. It's luckily a shorter watch. And then you, alongside of it, you know, you watch whatever other shows you want. You watch Lord of the Rings a time or two, and then you drop HBO, and then you don't pick it up for a while again. So I'd recommend that. The Mac, I love a good celebrity bowling game. Oh, 100%, 100%. I still want to make a time where, like, I think Darren Tang did a good job at one point. He tried making a YouTuber bowling game. I'm still trying to come up with something. One of my favorite things in video games, like Pokemon specifically, is going to be very niche, but is like a fake Jeopardy. I love those videos. And I think a fake Jeopardy with a couple of bowling content creators would be hilarious. There are some really cool personalities, and I think we could do it, but I don't know how. I gotta try diving into it more and shoot some messages out. So let me know who you'd like to see on a bowling Jeopardy if that ever happens. All right, we are at 7:57. I am going to do last call for questions. We're going to get through a couple more questions and we're going to call it a day. Remember, if you are new here, or if you are an older fan here, make sure to go check out that you're still subscribed or following, or make sure to hit that subscribe or follow button. It's the best way to help support the channel, best way to help me. It's completely free of charge for you guys, and then my videos are guaranteed to show up in your recommended feed or in your For You page. Sometimes the algorithms get weird, so to make sure that you can still see a few other videos from the ZVL channel, make sure to go do that. I'd really, really appreciate it. Otherwise, I love that you guys are all enjoying these conversations now twice a week. Thank you guys so much for watching. So we're going to get through a couple more questions, and then we will be calling it a day. So we're going to start with Justin over here on TikTok. What do you do to recover? Because I play tennis and bowling, and my shoulder and knee are really feeling it. So I have that problem with softball. So I play slow pitch softball in the summer. And one of the biggest issues for me is my elbow. I used to be a baseball pitcher. So my elbow is not shot by any means. Like I could still pitch like without problem, but there is pain. So one of my biggest things is over exaggerating a lot of the equipment I need. I wear a sleeve all summer long when I play softball or volleyball or any sport, not because my shoulder or my elbow already hurts, but I wear it to prevent any injury. So I try to prevent those injuries to get it from getting worse. So like for you, for a knee, I recommend a knee brace. For your shoulder, KT tape. KT tape is a go-to. Like I wear KT tape on my wrist. My wrist doesn't hurt that much, but it did in the past. So I do it just to kind of prevent any more injuries. Otherwise, like slowly rehabilitating is a good one. So a little bit of strength training that won't injure you, but still be able to help you out a little bit is big. Robert David, you're attending a Brad and Kyle event. Nice. And one of the perks is I can pick any storm ball. You currently have, oh, that's really cool, actually. I love that. I love that they're doing that. Love those two guys. XL, Phase 2 Pearl, Rockstar, Hustle Glow, and a Black Widow 2.0. Your lower rev rate, 15 to 16, or 300 rev rate, 15 to 16 mile an hour. Meaning concept, but Equinox Solid or Ion Max are interesting. Leaning concept. So you have XL, Phase 2 Pearl, Rockstar Glow. You have a really good arsenal right now. You could go something strong and sharp if you want. You could have something asymmetrical and shiny like a Viking or an Ion Max could be decent as well. So I would throw that in there as well. I'd stay away from the Equinox Solid and the Ion Max. You have the Black Widow 2.0 and the XL in that category. So I don't think you need something in that spot again. I'd recommend something a little bit different like that. What category is the Rocket AI? Medium sharp. That is a medium and sharp bowling ball. Jace, I'm getting rid of my effect, and then my arsenal would just be Zero Mercy, Solid, Physics, Blackout, and a spare ball. Yeah, I stick with what I said earlier, Jace, where you need some symmetrical balls. You only have asymmetrical pieces, so I think some symmetrical balls will be best for you. JQ, when is the deviate dark side the most usable? Later in the day. The original dark side is best on the burn when there's a little less oil. Question, any tips for first-time JBT averaging 190 to 200 house? Play straighter. Smoother bowling balls are going to be best. You won't be able to wheel it to the right as much as a house shot. Deal with it when lanes break down, Typhoon or Hustle Glow. I recommend Typhoon. It's a little stronger, which is going to be better in those situations. David, I think an NFL head coach bowling tournament would get decent ratings. Oh, that'd be hilarious. I'd be so in. I think a lot of people don't realize how many professional athletes bowl. I've talked to a couple NFL guys in the past about bowling, and I know Anthony Edwards bowls. I know most of the Vikings and Timberwolves guys in Minnesota bowl. So I think that'd be really cool to get events going with those guys. I think that's something bowling doesn't really do. And that's a good way to cross-collaborate with sports, which is pretty important. So I would love that. Mike, bowling needs brand rivalries like the brand rivalries in NASCAR between cars. Yeah, absolutely. And that's where I think that's where Battle of the Brands was so smart. People love having their favorite brand. That's the biggest thing in bowling. What equipment do you throw most? What brand is your favorite and why? And I think being able to pit those against each other is a really cool idea, especially in a professional sense. I think that's awesome. I would love like some fan voting, and I would love actual events where we get the guys bowling against each other instead of a mysterious scoreboard that's behind the scenes that we don't actually see. That's my biggest issue with it. I think if we could actually get, like, even on the PBA YouTube channel, like, get the guys together on, the practice day or during the pro or before the pro-am or something. Like, we're going to bowl a 1-game match. We're going to start Motive versus Hammer. Storm is going to go against 900 Global, Brunswick against Rotogrip, and go. Best of 3 Baker, whatever it may be. Let's see what happens. We'll get it on the PBA YouTube, and we'll get a lot of views there to get people to watch the TV show. Like, I think that would be a great play. Have it like free content, and then that transfers over to people watching the TV shows. I think it'd be really cool. All right. Let's see. Only Dan's. That's awesome. For National Two-Handed, a balance and balance. Zero Mercy Solid, Zero Mercy Pearl, Dark Side Curse, Phase 2, Spare Ball, Black Widow Visible, and looking at either Black Hammer. I don't think you need a Spare Ball and a Black Widow Visible. I don't think that's needed, and a urethane. I think only either, and then a Spare Ball and then a urethane is going to be best. I don't think a Visible is going to be needed that much. So I would recommend looking at either Black. I would go Black Ham or Black 78. Black 78 is the best one. No, didn't miss it, Mike. Don't worry. I got you. Yeah, and Robert, that sounds awesome. I think we're on to something where that can be a replacement for the PBA League in a certain sense, where you have set teams, and really, between years, the changes that happen are with brand changes. They aren't even with, like, we're arbitrarily trading Andrew Anderson for Chris Barnes. Like, those aren't happening, but it is like Andrew Anderson moved over to Brunswick, so now he's on the Brunswick team. I think that is where you could really excel. I think that would be really cool. And then, like, I mean, this is pipe dream. I would love if they bowled on the house shot at the local center they're at. I think that'd be kind of cool. 1, it would show off how house shots are different. And 2, it would be kind of cool to see really high scores. But that's just me. I think the better option would be they bowl on the oil pattern for that week. But, I want to see PBA on house shot. I think it'd be really fun. Not like a full qualifying, but I think a TV show where they're on house shot at some point would be really cool. And like actually call it a house shot. Knight, love your content. Good luck going full time. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. And just got a used Hammer Redemption. That is a strong and smooth ball. As long as the orange and white one, that is a strong and smooth ball. Are you sure you're the best? Thank you so much. Yeah, only Dan. Black 78 was what I was leaning towards. Was going to replace the Visible with urethane. Yeah, there you go. That would be the right play. All right, we are at 8:04. I am going to call it on that. I want to thank everybody who hung in today. Really, really appreciate it. I know we're getting into kind of summertime. We're going to lose a lot of the main crowd. That's A-okay. But we're going to be doing this twice a week, Mondays at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time in the afternoon, and then Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time are our live stream slots. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I can start doing some Twitch-only video game live streams. Those should be coming soon. Might be a lot of Pokemon content coming over there. Otherwise, we have a lot of cool videos coming out. Tomorrow is going to be a Brunswick layout guide. Sunday is going to be a Born to Bowl recap. We're recapping the entire Born to Bowl series and what it really means for the sport of bowling. A lot of other fun stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have our Nationals prep video coming out next week for myself personally, and we should have a lot more coming. So I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you for jumping into these live streams. It means the world. The support you guys give is absolutely incredible. I want to give a big thank you to all of our partners who've been showing up over here. We have Apparel EFX up right now. Code ZVL for 10% off. G Fuel is our caffeine sponsor. 30% off using code ZVL Bowling over there. I got to go check out. They have a couple new flavors that I'm excited about. We have Turbo products. Make sure to go check out Turbo. They have great finger grips, great switch grips, a lot of other really cool accessories that are coming out of that camp. RecruitUS, if you're a youth bowler or you know a youth bowler that wants to get recruited to college, go check out RecruitUS. Otherwise, and then finally, I forgot our big guys, bowling.com, our favorite online retailer for bowling products. Go check them out. If you buy anything from bowling.com, go say ZVL sent you. They are the nicest human beings in the industry. There's going to be a lot coming from them. I'm going to be seeing them a lot during Junior Gold. So make sure to go check them out. Thank you guys all so much for hopping in today. I really appreciate it. TikTok, going to say goodbye to you first. TikTok, I will see you all on the next one. And then we're left with the final three. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys all checking it out. Thank you for everything you've done. We will be going to a stream ending page. Hope to see you guys all on the next one.